Hello, everybody, and welcome to this beautiful day here in sunny Stanford, California. I'm Sarah Ash on the call alongside Kevin Dana for this matchup between the Stanford Cardinal and the Oregon Ducks. First game of a three-game series Friday night here on the farm. Cardinal right now sit at 15-19. They're 7-8 in the conference. Oregon, on the other hand, 26-10 on the year, 10-5 in the conference. They're second in the Pac-12, just behind Oregon State. Stanford coming off a big 12-8 win midweek versus Sacramento State. Oregon, on the other hand, a 14-9 win versus Gonzaga midweek. And some big pitchers squaring off tonight that we'll get into. But, Kevin, what do you expect for this evening?
Yeah, well, Sarah, Oregon's just kind of been chugging along in conference play. 2 of 3 against Arizona State, 2 of 3 against Cal, 2 of 3 against Arizona, 2 of 3 against UCLA, 2 of 3 against USC. You're hearing a recurring theme here?
I think I am.
They're winning every series. They're doing enough to get the series win. And last time against USC, they took the first 2, so they had the series in the bag by Sunday. And look, if you keep on winning 2 of 3, you're going to have a great chance to be the Pac-12 champion in the regular season. This is a team that won the conference tournament last year. And for Stanford, look, you're 7-8. It hasn't gone the way you expected to this year. Of course, they have a lot of guys who got drafted by Major League Baseball. Braden Montgomery transfers to Texas A&M. So that's 10 huge guys from last year's team that aren't here anymore. But you're still Stanford, and the brand is winning baseball. And it's been a bit of an up and down year from that aspect. But look, you're 7-8 right now. You're in the middle of the conference race. And one good weekend here could get you on the right side of the ledger. And, it's all about making a push to play your best baseball come conference tournament time in Scottsdale at the end of May.
At the end of the day, Pac-12 play is what matters the most.
Yep.
Let's talk about the pitchers that we've got on the mound tonight, because that Friday night matchup is always a fun one.
Yep.
Stanford throwing out Matt Scott, right-handed pitcher. He's 2 wins, 1 loss on the year, but Matt Scott, oh my goodness, coming off a big game at Oregon State. 6 innings pitched, just 3 hits allowed. He struck out 9 in that game, coming off a huge performance. And on the other hand, Oregon throwing out R.J. Gordon onto the mound. He's 5-2 on the year. He's also coming off of a huge performance. Most recently, he started versus USC. That was last Friday. He went 8.1 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, 3 strikeouts for the win. A big season for him. Are we going to see a pitcher's duel here? Yeah,
well, you take a look at Matt Scott's numbers. Again, a sub-4 ERA, that's really good, especially in college baseball. A whip of 1.04, which is fantastic. But, he got 0 run support last time out in a 6-0. It turned out to be just a loss against Oregon State. Final score, 6-0 in that one. So he got 0 run support in that one. And look, he had a quality start. You mentioned the numbers. That is the 3 runs, 6 innings is the definition of a quality start. But, again, when you don't get any run support, you're not going to win. So 2-6 this year. The ERA suggests a better record than that. And then meanwhile for R.J. Gordon, another guy with a sub-4 ERA. So these are the two, usually your Friday guys are your aces in your pitching staff. And so this figures to be the best pitching matchup of the weekend. It's fireworks night. Should be a fun night at the ballpark.
It's going to be great. And I think you kind of mentioned the story of Stanford baseball this year. Some great performances on the mound, but that doesn't quite matter if you can't get the bats going, right?
Yeah.
Stanford, however, we mentioned midweek, coming off of a huge win versus Sacramento State. Some of the biggest numbers they've put up in a while offensively, 12 runs. They had a 10-run third inning midweek. Is that going to carry over here, or is this fresh series and they're going to have to get it going again?
Well, with all due respect to Sacramento State, they're not Oregon, right? And look, a 12-8 win is great. Again, you mentioned the 10-run third inning where just everything was working. You were broadcasting that game, 12 runs, 18 hits. I do not expect to have that kind of offensive success regularly against an Oregon team that, look, their pitching staff isn't fantastic. You look at a 5.28 ERA, which is that was last year, excuse me. But this year, 4.77 ERA, which is decent. It's 4th in the Pac-12. So it's pretty good. I just don't think you can expect many double-digit innings as far as runs are concerned.
It'll be a different game tonight for sure.
Yep.
Well, let's go around the horns. Stanford obviously taking the field first, and as we mentioned, Matt Scott on the mound. Behind the plate, Matt Moore, he's back in the lineup. He had to sit and serve a one-game suspension after he was ejected, so he served that during the Sacramento State game midweek. He's back behind the plate. Charlie Somm, of course, took his place midweek. He'll be in the lineup as the designated hitter after a huge midweek game for him. Then let's go around the horn. Timo Becerra at third, Trevor Haskins at shortstop, Owen Cobb at second base, and Brandon Larson at first. Over in the outfield, Court McDonald holding down that left field, Ethan Hott in the center, and of course Brady Reynolds over there in right field. I mean, getting Moore back in the lineup right now is huge for Stanford in terms of not just defensively, but offensive production. Yeah,
I mean, he leads the team with 8 home runs. That's top 10 in the Pac-12. He's top 5 in the conference in walks, so he's drawing a lot of walks, 27 walks this season. That leads the team. And then, defensively, he's caught 13 runners attempting to steal, which is second in the Pac-12. But, yeah, I mean, look, this is a guy who hit .311 last year. The average isn't quite there this year, but still he has an OPS of right around 860, which is a really good number, and I expect the .224 batting average to only go up.
I mean, you said it, such a big player to have back in the lineup. We'll get more into his accolades, but here is the first pitch in for a strike. 6:09, 4 minutes late.
Yeah, I know. Like, usually they start right on time, but it was the umps were kind of sauntering to the field. The redcoats talking to him a little bit, and a little delay.
Second pitch in there, also for a strikeout, and to the count now to number 28, Bryce Betcher, center fielder here for the Oregon Ducks. Betcher on the year so far, it's important to mention here, but the senior out of Eugene, Oregon, I mean, get this, he became a two-sport athlete back in the fall of 2022 after joining the football team as a linebacker. And Oregon played Gonzaga midweek. He had his 4th home run of the season coming off a big game midweek is Betcher.
It was an interesting game. They got up 11-0, and then Gonzaga cut it to 11-9 before the Ducks won 14-9.
1-2 the pitch, or the count, excuse me. Low, but that's a good 1-2 pitch right there, of course.
Yeah.
Ahead in the count. Why not just throw it in the dirt, see if he chases a little bit.
Exactly. Those are the joys of going up 0-2. You get a chance to play around a little bit and see if you get someone to chase something out of the zone, trying to defend the strike zone.
2-2. Here's the pitch, swinging a foul ball behind. That'll go back behind where we're sitting.
Thought I had a chance at it, Sarah.
You did reach for it.
Yeah. Maybe next time. I think I've seen one ball land in the press box in the 15 years I've been coming here to do Stanford baseball games.
One ball. We almost had one midweek.
Oh.
Made me almost want to bring my mitt. Maybe next time. 2-2 the count. High and tight. Yeah. Betcher having to duck out of the way of that. Full count. Good at bat here from Betcher. This is what you want from your leadoff hitter, right? Get a lot of pitches. Allow your dugout to just see a little bit of what Matt Scott has. Here's the payoff. Swing and a miss. He got him.
Yeah, it's a good battle. And Matt Scott winning that. The 94 on that last pitch, that fastball. Well, he got up 0-2. Credit Betcher for battling back in the at-bat and forcing a 7-pitch at-bat, like you were mentioning, Sarah. Allows the rest of the lineup to see what Matt's got in his bag tonight. But a nice job to battle back after running the count full to get the K, the forwards K.
Forwards K. Chase Meggers now up to the plate. Meggers is averaging .354 on the season. He's slugging over .500. .354 on the season. If that doesn't tell you what a year he's having, I'm not sure what does.
I should say forward K, if I could speak English correctly. I added an S there for.
Oh, I heard forward K.
Yeah, no. Well, I guess I'm my own worst critic.
1-0. Here's the pitch and a chopper to second base, gobbled up. And routine play. Cobb flips it to Larson for the out.
That's got to be a nice settling at bat for Scott, right? You just battled with Betcher for 7 pitches, then you get a 2-pitch out, an out and 2 pitches. That helps the pitch count a little bit.
Absolutely. Helps the confidence, helps just to settle in. And
yeah. He averaged 18 pitches per inning last time out. So you got a chance to get this done with under 15. It's a good start.
Sometimes they say that pitch count matters a lot, but hey, if it's a pitch count that's high, but the pitcher's not working all that hard, there's not a lot of batters on base, that's very different.
Yeah. Good point, Sarah.
Jacob Walsh. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no. Do your thing.
Jacob Walsh now up to the plate, averaging 290 on the year. He's slugging almost 700, 1.06 OPS.
Big-time power hitter. He leads Oregon career home runs already, 36 in his career.
14 on the season.
Yeah.
He had 4 hits midweek versus Gonzaga. That includes 2 home runs,
yeah.
3 RBIs coming off a massive game, and that's a home run slice if I've ever
seen
one.
Yeah, he saw he was sitting dead red 2-0, or I guess it was 2-1. It was 2-0, right?
It was 2-1.
It was, all right. It's 2-2 now. My mistake.
We're all settling in.
Yeah.
We're settling in. The crowd's settling in. Scott is settling in. He delivers, and Walsh smacks that down the line. That'll stay fair. He's rounding first. Headed over to the corners. Reynolds, he scoops it up, and Walsh is in with a 2-out double.
Yeah, I mean, this is how you slug 672 on the season. It's not just the home runs. It's the extra base hits. That's his 16th double of the season. I mean, so this guy has 31 extra base hits for his 44 hits. Actually, that was they updated it to Hurd, but still, like, this guy is just an extra base hit machine. Of course, the 14 home runs will help.
I mean, we're starting to see the story that you painted for Oregon already coming together, right? They're pitching on the whole as a season, ERA of around 4, maybe a little bit over. And on the season, if your ERA is around 4, you got to have some hitting. And we're seeing that right now. Jeffrey Hurd, cleanup hitter. Right fielder up to the plate now for the Oregon Ducks, averaging .331 on the season, averaging .343 with runners in scoring position, and he hits that opposite field, and that one will go foul. Chasing it was McDonald, and why not here at the Sunken Diamond? There's plenty of foul territory to be covered.
Especially before you get to the bullpen, like kind of infield foul territory. There is a lot of it. Not quite like the Oakland Coliseum, where there's just boundless space and foul grounds. But
bring up a hot topic right there, but we're going to breeze right by it. Swing another foul, and suddenly it's 0-2 with 2 outs.
Well, Stanford was playing Sacramento State on Tuesday.
It's true.
So I visited the River Cats ballpark on Tuesday. It is a nice ballpark. It is a AAA ballpark, but it is a nice AAA ballpark.
How many seats?
10,000, 14,000 capacity with the outfield grass.
It's a small ballpark.
Yeah.
Here's the 0-2. High and a good take there from Hurd. Jeffrey Hurd, 6'2", 205-pound junior. Out of San Jose, California. He's actually, speaking of Sacramento State, a transfer to Oregon from Sacramento State. Spent his 2022 year at Sac State. Check swing. Didn't go.
Yeah, he didn't go. Good hold up. Now, the only problem with Jeffrey Hurd is he went to the wrong high school. He went to Valley Christian. I'm a Bellarmine guy, so that's WCAL. We won't hold that against him, though.
Now, good thing he went to Oregon, though. Maybe that you might hold against him. Yeah, 2022, Sac State. Last year was his first year with the Ducks. Outside just again, but two great pitches here from Scott ahead in the count. But now, great job from Hurd to claw back into this. And now full count here to Hurd with a runner on second and 2 outs. I already mentioned his first year with with Oregon last year. Finished with a fourth best batting average on the team, and that foul ball's coming right towards us. And never mind with the spin. bouncing into the stands. Nobody could get their hands on that.
There's a dude in a gray long sleeve. Not to call him out, 5 rows up. He was reading it the whole way, and it just like went off his forearm. Like, he didn't put his hands out
enough. Soft hands.
And that's why you bring a glove to the park.
I mean, let's hope that he listens back to this broadcast and he knows what he did wrong. Full count again. 3-2, 2 outs. Walsh on second. Scott checks the runner. Here's the payoff swing and another foul ball back. Starting to see a theme here with the Oregon Ducks.
But judging by the crowd, a fan caught that one on the fly.
Yeah, we had some applause here.
This is another good battle. Betcher went 7 pitches. Hurd, I believe this is the 7th pitch, maybe the 8th pitch of the at-bat. They're making Scott work here.
We'll go again. Here's the payoff pitch. Scott delivers, takes outside, and a beautiful at-bat from Jeffrey Hurd. Works back from an 0-2 count.
Yeah.
Ends up getting the walk.
That one just a little bit low. Good eye from Hurd. That is a fantastic at-bat there from Jeffrey Hurd.
Ducks so far showing their discipline up at the plate. Suddenly for Scott, who initially had 2 up, 2 down, suddenly finds himself in a first inning jam. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. Bennett Thompson here, the catcher for the Oregon Ducks, up to the plate for his first time. He's averaging .267 on the season, averaging .281 with runners in scoring position. Here's the pitch, swinging a foul ball back, and we've seen actually a lot of foul balls, the Ducks making contact with Scott, and it's just the first inning. Is that concerning that they're able to make contact, foul these balls back? Usually what happens is you make the contact, and then finally you get in that rhythm, and they start to go into play.
You think about that the second, third time around the order.
Another foul ball back, so a quick 0-2 count now for Scott, finding himself back in this 0-2. This is exactly where he was with Hurd.
It's the third time he's been up 0-2 on someone this inning.
Bennett Thompson, catcher out of Medford, Oregon. Season high 4 hits versus Sacramento State back in April. That included 3 RBIs and 3 runs scored. Last year was Pac-12 Conference All-Tournament team. And we've got to mention he was also Pac-12 Conference Academic Honor Roll. The academic accolades never get mentioned, but we're going to throw it in there because it matters all the same, right? Student athletes. 1-2 the count now. Scott checks the runner and delivers. Swinging a high fly ball to left field. Under it is McDonald fighting this sun, and he's able to stay with it.
Well, it's a good job by Scott to get out of the inning, put a couple of guys on. It was a well-hit double there by Walsh with nobody on and 2 out. But you work around that, you work around the walk, and look, always a good thing to put a 0 up on the scoreboard first.
You said it. Scott gets out of the first inning jam, Oregon leaving 2 stranded, and we will be back with you shortly for the bottom of the first. For the Ducks, and then around the horn we have Garate at third, Carter Garate, Maloney at short, Smith at second, Walsh at first, Beggars in left, Betchers in center, and Hurd, Jeffrey Hurd there, who you just saw take a walk over there in right field. And up for the Cardinal, leading it off, number 1, Owen Cobb, second baseman for the Cardinal, hoping to get things started here as we head to the bottom of the first. Owen Cobb leads the team in triples and RBIs. He's got 22 on the season. Second in home runs. He's got 6. That's behind only Malcolm Moore, who's got 8 on the year. And actually, surprisingly, Owen Cobb with the leadoff batter, highest slugging percentage on the season for the Stanford Cardinal. He's hit safely in 8 of his last 12 games. He's managed 7 multi-hit games on the season. Tuesday night, he recorded a 2-hit inning for the second time this season alone.
A 2-hit inning.
2-hit inning. That was in that big third where Stanford
Yeah.
posted 10 runs, and he got up twice in the inning and managed to hit both times.
That is impressive right there.
That's a fun stat.
Yeah, it is.
And he pops it up. Chasing his second baseman, Smith. He's called off. Hurd coming in. Right fielder takes care of it. 1 up, 1 down for R.J. Gordon on the mound for the Ducks.
And that's how you like to start if you're R.J. Gordon, right? 2 pitches, first out. Get the juices flowing a little bit. Good early mojo.
2 pitches for a first out, and already seeing a difference between the Cardinal and the Ducks. Ducks seeing a lot more pitches per at-bat, but let's see if that changes here. Now number 13, Ethan Haught, center fielder, up for the Cardinal. Gordon delivers, just misses. 1-0 the count.
To your point, that was a 25-pitch inning for Matt Scott. So
It's a big first.
yeah, it is.
It's a big first. I feel like a 20-pitch first is a big first. So
Yep.
anything above that, slightly worrisome. Hopefully, sometimes you see pitchers, they just need to settle in a little bit. So perhaps that's what it was for Scott. Gordon sinks that in there. Nice slider in for a strike. 1-1 the count now to Haught. Strike 1 and 2. Haught, the sophomore out of Paradise Valley, Arizona. In Pac-12 play alone, he's hitting .385. Quite the average here. I think he likes playing against Pac-12 teams.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, it's not a small sample size, too. 15 games through the conference season.
Haught batting second. Highest batting average on the season so far for the Cardinal. Also highest on-base percentage on the team. Over 400 on-base percentage for Ethan Haught. We haven't talked a lot about R.J. Gordon here on the mound for Oregon. We mentioned what a start he's coming off of. Over 8 innings against USC last Friday. Looking to continue that as he got the win there. Haught chops it back to the mound, and that's some good defensive play from R.J. Gordon. And he'll toss it over to Walsh. 2 up, 2 down.
Yeah, way to field the position there if you're R.J. Gordon. Just like the top of the first, 2 up, 2 down. See if the Cardinal has any 2-out magic here.
Trying to make that happen. Number 22, Court McDonald, left fielder for the Stanford Cardinal from Arlington, Texas, the sophomore. Second highest batting average on the team behind who you just saw, Ethan Haught. He's hit safely in 10 of his last 11 games. And if you expand that out, he's hit safely in 16 of his last 18.
That's pretty good. And you want to talk about sneaky good college campuses? UT Arlington, very nice campus. Since you mentioned he's from Arlington, Texas. Really?
Can't say I've spent a lot of time at UT Arlington.
They, is that one? I guess just
misses.
missed. But it's where the Dallas Wings used to play for a couple. Actually, they still might be there. But that played at UT Arlington. I've been on that campus. Really nice basketball facility.
What makes a college campus so nice? I feel like you can say this here since we're at Stanford. You're a Stanford alum.
Yeah, modern, like a lot of modern buildings, just like a new vibe, new sleek feel to it. There's a good frozen yogurt place on campus, which also helps.
It's always about the treats, right?
Yeah.
It's always about what treats are around.
Yeah.
3-0 the count now. Here's the pitch. Taking all the way was McDonald in there for a strike.
Might as well take.
Might as well take. I am of the mind that if you see your pitch, go ahead and swing at it, but
I hear
it
you.
can backfire.
It took 6 pitches to get the first 2 outs. Maybe make them work a little bit here.
I like that. A good eye there from McDonald. He took your advice. And a 5-pitch walk for Court McDonald. He gets on base with 2 outs.
Yeah, you want to run that PC up a little bit, that pitch count for R.J. Gordon. Good 5-pitch walk. See if Malcolm can make him work here again.
Court McDonald getting on base for the cleanup hitter here. Malcolm Moore, catcher, behind the plate. Again, he's out of Sacramento, California. But unfortunately, he had to sit out, as we mentioned. He had to sit out a one-game suspension versus Sacramento State midweek. He's back in the lineup now. And he takes inside. Moore. What is there to say? So much about Malcolm Moore. He leads the team in walks, home runs, and on-base percentage. Malcolm Moore homered in back-to-back games at Washington. Has reached in all but 4 games this year while leading the team and ranking 3rd in Pac-12 in walks. This is somebody who knows how to get on base, and he's got a lot of power.
That he does. I mean, 15 home runs last year, already 8 this season. I mean, he's on pace for about 15 home runs again. Really tough to do in college baseball. Yeah. Oh.
Caught in the middle of stealing Court McDonald, and now he's caught in a rundown. And Oregon, you know what? That's harder than it looks. We've seen plenty of rundowns go wrong. Oregon takes care of it. That's not how you want to end the inning.
No.
If you're the Stanford Cardinal. Get a runner on base with Court McDonald and end the inning before we can see Malcolm Moore really take that at bat. He's thrown out trying to steal second base. That's what happens, though, if you're the Stanford Cardinal. You're aggressive on the base path, as they've been all year. The Ducks doing their homework. They're ready for it. And we'll head to the second. We'll be back with you shortly. Hello, everybody. Welcome back for the top of the second inning. Sarah Ash here alongside Kevin Dana. 1 hit for Oregon, none for Stanford, but both teams leaving some runners stranded in the first inning, but we're still locked at 0. Oregon now. Anson Arrows, designated hitter, coming up to the plate. Arrows averaging .313 on the season, slugging over .500. If you look at his stats, though, in the leadoff position, he's hitting just .235 compared to his season batting average of .313. Matt Scott, you mentioned 25 pitches in that first inning.
Yeah, certainly throws first pitch for the strike. You'd certainly like to see that number under 20 here in the second inning.
This inning, do you think it'll tell us all we really need to know about what kind of day this might be for Matt Scott? Can he lock in, or is this going to be a struggle of a Friday for him?
Yeah, I mean, certainly, especially against a team like Oregon. I mean, this is a team that just under their head coach, Mark Wazakowski, have torn the cover off the ball. They've set program records in home runs each of the last 3 years. They hit 101 dingers last year, already 53 this year. So anytime you can put a 0 on the board is a good thing.
Just as you say that, swinging a line drive down that right field line, bouncing up against the wall, headed for second is Arrows, and he'll slide in safely. A leadoff double for Anson Arrows. Scott immediately back in the stretch now for the Cardinal.
Yeah, I mean, they hit .293 as a team. That's second in the Pac-12. Like, there are no easy outs in this lineup. You're just looking up and down.
Yeah.
They have one person hitting .264, one hitting .274, one hitting .295, which are all decent batting average, and everyone else is hitting .309 plus.
Oh, my goodness.
So.
Yeah, I feel like that says it all right there.
Yeah.
Speaking of, coming up to the plate right now, Drew Smith, second baseman here for the Oregon Ducks. He'll take his first at-bat of the game. And listen, Drew Smith batting 7th in this lineup, and he's averaging .314 on the year.
And your number 8 hitter's hitting .411. It's
not something
impressive.
that you see a lot.
Yeah.
No easy outs here whatsoever. Scott from the stretch, swinging a bouncing ball, foul. Foul tip that back. 1-1 the count now. Smith mentioned the second baseman here for the Oregon Ducks. Sophomore out of Clovis, California.
Fresno territory.
That's right. Last year he was named second team All-West Region by the American Baseball Coaches Association. This year set a season high with 4 hits and 3 RBIs versus Texas Tech. That was back in February. Obviously, based on his .314 average, he's having a pretty good year. Bouncing ball to third. Becerra checks the runner, sees if he has an opportunity to get that lead runner. Good choice there from Becerra at third to just get that out at first.
Yeah, there's no place for no way for Timo to make the play at third. Take the out and see if you can get a pop up or a strikeout here.
Exactly. Right decision there from Becerra. Now, up to the plate here, Maddox Maloney, shortstop for the Oregon Ducks. As you mentioned, number 8 hitter, batting .411 on the year. I don't think that's something I've really ever said.
Yeah, yeah, that's really impressive Oregon Ducks lineup.
Maloney, the true freshman out of Springfield, Oregon, getting the start today.
That brings up something for me. I wonder how many states have a Springfield. Like, what is the most common American town name? Springfield has to be in the running.
I'm going to guess there's 20 in the U.S. Stay posted, everybody. We're gonna look that up in between innings, and we'll let you know. What's your guess? Over or under 20?
I'll go under.
Okay. It's a big country. 2-0 the count now. Matt Scott facing Maddox Maloney, checking the runner at second. Here's the pitch, low and outside. Ball 3, 3-0 the count now. And if you're Matt Scott, the last thing you want is to walk Maloney. Different situation here. If you're Maloney, are you taking all the way still?
Let's see. Nope.
3-0. He thought he saw his pitch. That was a home run swing if I ever saw one. Foul tip that back. 3-1 now. Scott trying to work back from a 3-0 count. 31 pitches already on the day through just 1 1/3 inning, and off speed, 86 miles an hour.
He got him way out in front there.
Way out in front. So if that off speed is working, that's good, because right now I feel like Scott is kind of struggling for a pitch that he can rely on here for a strike. Here's the pitch, swinging a high fly ball to left field. McDonald back, looking over the wall, and a 2-run shot for Maddox Maloney puts Oregon ahead 2-0. Scott worked all the way back in the count, all the way back to a 3-2, and then Maloney just absolutely skies it. There was no chance.
Yeah, 5th home run, 9th extra base hit of the year for Maddox Maloney, and that left the park in a hurry. And you could tell off the crack of the bat, the nice ping sound to it. And McDonald, he gave it a chase, but I think he knew he was just kind of running for exercise sake there.
You could hear it, as you said, the moment that left the bat. So bases are cleared, 1 out for Carter Garate. Garate batting 9th in the order here for the Ducks. He takes just low, 1-0 the count now. Both pitchers here hitting about 95 miles an hour on the radar gun. Here's the 1-0 from Scott. Delivers 94 miles an hour. Swinging right through it was Garate. So a quick 0-2. Once again, you mentioned already, Scott, not a problem getting ahead 0-2. Problem finishing batters off in this game so far. Oh, excuse me, 1-1 the count. I must have thought that was an 0-2. Trying to lay that bunt down is Garate. It wasn't a great bunt right to Larson at first base, but Larson looked like he just kind of slipped on that in between where it goes from dirt to grass, and that should be an error on 1. Or excuse me, on 3.
Yeah, it's going to go down as an E3, as it should. I mean, that's kind of a tailor-made out right there.
Yeah.
Like, that was not a good bunt. I mean, it was hit right to first base, and if you ask Larson, he'd tell you should have that.
Very unfortunate here, especially as now, instead of no on and 2 outs, it's 1 on and 1 out. Once again, now we're back to the top of the order.
Yeah.
Bryce Betcher. Betcher struck out swinging to start the game. He's 0 for 1. Perhaps some confidence for Scott there facing Betcher. Betcher, despite having struck out in that first at bat, batting .309 on the year. Scott checks the runner, and
it was close-ish over at first. Garate sliding in safely.
I like the idea, though. Why not? We've seen Stanford, and we'll talk about it when they're up to the plate, but we've seen them be aggressive on the base path. Oregon as well, aggressive when they get on the base path. Once again, checking the runner and getting a little dangerous now. Tosses it over Larson. Larson bobbling it over there at first.
I mean, to your point, 35 stolen bases. It's tied for second in the Pac-12 as a team.
Ducks can do some damage on the base path. 1-0 the count now, 1 out. Matt Scott once again finds himself in a jam, and this is not what you want from your ace if you're the Stanford Cardinal, and it's obviously not what you want if you are the ace, Matt Scott. Scott just really trying to settle in here right down the center of the plate.
Yeah, I mean, he entered this at-bat with 40 pitches, meaning he'd thrown 15 pitches already this inning. So this is going to be pitch 18 of the inning, 43 for the game.
Quiet still in the Stanford bullpen. Try to let their ace figure it out here.
Again, he went 109 pitches last week, and just look at his pitch totals. 112 the week before, got a no decision against Wazoo. He hasn't thrown fewer than 84 pitches. He usually lives in the mid to high 90s pitch count-wise.
So if we're doing that math out, if we are at 20 pitches, another bunt. That one's coming right for us.
Oh.
Guys, just in front of us, but I hope we caught that on camera. Great catch from the fan right in front of us.
One-handed.
He's getting some congratulations from everybody here.
That was nice.
And maybe, perhaps he's a Stanford baseball alum just sitting there.
Yeah.
Souvenir. And a great memory, great catch there. 1-2 the count now. 1 out, 1 on. Garate over at first, based from that error by Larson. Scott has been very aware of Garate. Scott gets Betcher swinging. 2 at-bats and 2 strikeouts for Betcher, and Scott just has Betcher's number right now.
A nice pitch. A slider at 90. And he's had battles with Betcher, but he's retired him both times. Good chunk of the rest of the lineup, though, he'd like to get some get-back on right now because 3 hits, a walk. It's been tough for him.
Mager's now up to the plate. His first at bat, he grounded out to second base over there to Owen Cobb for the second out of the first inning. Now he comes up to the plate with 2 outs and 1 on, swinging a foul ball back behind the plate. 0-1 the count now.
Do need to point out, since we've had so many foul balls, maybe need is too strong of a verb, but you do not get to keep the baseballs here. You have to hand it back to a red coat.
Disappointing.
I know. I remember. I'll tell this story a little bit later after this pitch.
0-1 the count. Scott checking the runner once again.
But I remember my first softball game I went to here. I was my RA was Missy Pena here, who was a great All-American pitcher here at Stanford. I went to one of her games, and I chased after a foul ball, got it. I was super excited. Didn't realize I had to give it back. I was very upset.
After all that work.
Yeah.
Swinging a high fly ball over to left field. McDonald under it. And that is it for the inning. But the damage is done. Ducks get 2 on a 2-run home run from Maddox Maloney. And we will be back with you for the bottom of the second inning as the Cardinal look to answer. Welcome back, everybody. Bottom of the second inning. Oregon Ducks up 2-0 against the Stanford Cardinal as we head into the home half of this second inning. Sarah Ash alongside Kevin Dana. And before break, we took a little bet on how many Springfield towns were in the United States.
Yeah.
I said 20. You said under.
And, well, there are 34, according to Core.com, 34 populated places named Springfield in 25 U.S. states, including 5 in Wisconsin, at least 36 Springfield townships, including 11 in Ohio.
You come for the baseball, but you learn when you come for the Stanford baseball. games, and Malcolm Moore didn't even get a chance to introduce him before he skies it all the way to right field. That one is out of here. Solo shot, first pitch, home run from Malcolm Moore, and he'll trot around the bases as he pulls Stanford one closer to the Ducks.
That thing was crushed. As Hawk Harrelson would say, the Chicago White Sox former broadcaster, that ball was killed. And it just makes the caught stealing at the end of the first that much more frustrating, right? Because just imagine that happening in the first inning, it'd be 2-2 right now.
Yep, as you mentioned, caught stealing was Court McDonald on base. Malcolm Moore now in to finish or restart that at bat, and oh my goodness. We said he had some power, and it was on full display right there.
Exit velo of 107 miles an hour, launch angle of 40 degrees. That was nice.
Talk about hitting that right in the sweet spot of the bat, and he absolutely did. Brandon Larson, first baseman here for the Stanford Cardinal, now up to bat for his first at-bat of the day. Of course, Malcolm Moore just hit that home run, batting cleanup for the Cardinal. Larson in this 5 spot here. Swinging a ground ball foul. Larson, sophomore out of Rockland, California. Bats left, throws right. He's a transfer from UCSD, a rare transfer. Stanford Cardinal. Played 1 season at UC San Diego last year in 2023. Helped guide them to a Big West championship before transferring here to Stanford. Having a good year here. His first year with the Cardinal. Larson swinging through that one, 93 mile an hour. That one rose. Larson cut right under it.
Really nice pitch there from R.J. Gordon. Got him to chase. Larson swinging at something out of the zone that started in the zone. It's always tough with 2 strikes because you got to protect, but makes it tough.
Charlie Somm, designated hitter, coming up to the plate here for the Stanford Cardinal. Charlie Somm, we talk about midweek games. Somm starting behind the plate for the Cardinal on Tuesday versus Sac State. He fouls that one back. And Somm, as I mentioned, who got that start behind the plate, had a big day, both behind the plate and at the plate for the Stanford Cardinal. Somm was part of that huge 10-run 3rd inning. Pitch in for a strike, 0-2 the count quickly here to Somm. Somm went 2 for 4 versus Sac State. He had a double and a single and 2 RBIs on the day. Both of those coming in that big 3rd inning for the Stanford Cardinal. 1-2 the count now, 1 out. Somm facing Gordon for the first time today. Gordon delivers inside a breaking ball, and Somm was able to hold up on that, a good eye. 2-2 the count now.
Yeah, those breaking balls, 2 strikes, if they start in the zone, really tough to lay off. Good job to keep the at-bat going if you're Somm.
Talk about the difference in velocity here. That breaking ball, 76 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Gordon hitting about 95 on that fastball. Speaking of the fastball, that one, 94 miles an hour. Gets Somm with that change in speed.
Yeah, and again, high fastball after a breaking ball that was 18 miles per hour slower. Yeah, that is tough to catch up to.
That's a big difference. A lot of this is just about timing, and 18 mile an hour difference. That's something. So Timo Becerra coming up to the plate here, nobody on, 2 outs. Becerra, of course, facing Gordon for the first time today, and first pitch in there for a strike. That 184 miles an hour, really varying speeds here coming out of the hands of R.J. Gordon. Swinging a fly ball down the left field line. That's going to stay in. It's going to bounce up off the wall. Becerra headed into second, tries to get there in time, but that was a beautiful throw in from left field from Megers, and you could tell that it arrived just well before Becerra. Becerra trying to stretch that to a double, and now 2 times the Cardinal really just shooting themselves in the foot to end the inning, but hey, they get the solo shot from Moore. Stanford get a run back in and 2 hits in the inning. It's 2-1 Oregon, and we'll head to the 3rd. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Top of the 3rd inning here. Oregon Ducks in the lead, 2-1. Ducks, of course, 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors. Stanford, 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error. Matt Scott back on the mound here for the Cardinal. 46 pitches so far.
So 21 pitches in the 2nd inning after 25 in the 1st. So it got better, but he did give up the 2 runs in the 2nd.
Jacob Walsh coming up to the plate now, and Scott's going to face Walsh, who had a 2-out double back in the 1st inning that got the rally started for the Ducks. Nothing ended up surmounting from that. Walsh had the double in the 1st, and then Hurd was walked, and then Bennett Thompson flew out to left field to end the inning, so they left those 2 stranded. But Walsh 1 for 1 so far on the day, showing bunt now.
That's interesting from your power hitter.
I was going to say.
The best thing about facing Walsh to lead off the inning is that there's nobody on base. You do not want to face this guy when there are ducks on the pond.
Slugging almost 700 on the year.
It's crazy.
And he certainly sees the fact that Stanford's defense is in this shift, right? So we've got only 1 defender on this left side of the infield, and 3 on the right side.
If you can squibble it down the third base line, he can basically jog to an infield single.
That looks like what he's trying to do. 2-1 the count now, and this time he swings at it.
Yeah, well, now that it's 2-2, imagine the bunt sign will be off.
I was surprised we saw a swing at the 2-1 count. But it looks maybe he was just trying something. When it didn't go right the first time, pulled it back. Walsh having a great year here for Oregon. We've mentioned already some of his stats. We'll get into that after this pitch. 2-2 the count now. Inside, full count. Walsh, the junior out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Oregon Ducks played Gonzaga midweek. And Walsh had a season-high 4 hits versus Gonzaga. He had 2 home runs, 3 RBIs. You mentioned how many home runs he's got total on the in his career. He's got 14 on the season, as we've mentioned. Last year, he's a Pac-12 Conference Player of the Week in April. Finished tied for the most home runs in a season in program history. The year before that, collegiate baseball freshman All-American. Walsh gets the walk. You know what? Not a bad one to walk.
Not a bad one to walk. You're right about that.
However, if you are Matt Scott, the last thing you do want to do is walk that leadoff hitter, and that's exactly what he's done. Matt Scott having a difficult day so far for Stanford on the mound. Despite all of that, still able to limit to the Ducks to just 3 hits and 2 runs so far. Keep the Cardinal in the game. 1-0 the count, that one just missing to Jeffrey Hurd. Cleanup hitter here for the Ducks. Hurd walked in the 1st, was left stranded. He comes up now with 1 on and nobody out. Off speed, 80 miles an hour.
That was a nice pitch. Really had Hurd off balance there.
That off-speed stuff seems to be working here and there for Scott. Walsh on first. 1-1 the count. In the dirt, and a good job there from Moore behind the plate to keep that ball in front of him.
I think, Sarah, the way this has gone, if you can get Matt through 5 innings, limit the Ducks to 3 runs, I think that's kind of the goal here for Matt Scott if you're Stanford.
I mean, limiting the Oregon Ducks to 3 runs alone is a pretty big feat.
Yeah.
Scott on the 2-1. Delivers. Swinging a pop-up over to left field. Chasing is McDonald. He has to come all the way into that line. McDonald fighting the sun still. He's done a good job to put those away when they've come his way. And that's exactly what you want if you're Scott. Runner does not advance.
Yep.
And you get that out.
Well, the Shadows are covering most of center right now, kind of crawling their way over to left. I'd say Court going to have to deal with the sun for a couple innings or so.
Bennett Thompson up to the plate, flied out to left field over to Court McDonald, who's been busy over there and left. In the first inning, Thompson averaging .264 on the season. Takes a pitch in for a strike. Another relatively off speed, 88 miles an hour. It looked like a cutter. In for a strike, 0-1 the count now. Scott really slowing that speed down. You can see the pitch clock all the way down to 4 seconds when he delivers. That one just missing. It looked eerily similar to that first pitch that came in for a strike. That one misses. 1-1 the count now. Scott again working slowly that pitch count down to 5 when he delivers, and this one again in for a strike. 1-2 the count.
I will say, and maybe this is not a baseball guy thing to say, the pitch clock is the best thing to happen in college baseball.
Oh boy.
Like by a mile. I think it has really improved the product.
College baseball or baseball as a whole?
College baseball especially.
Okay, specifically.
Because these games, like if you get guys who can't find the zone, look, these aren't professional players, right? And so like naturally there are going to be some pitchers who have a tougher time on the mound getting outs. And it just speeds up the game. And, there can be like 10-8 games that take 2 hours and 45 minutes as opposed to 3 hours and 45 minutes.
It's a fair point. Got him swinging. It looked like almost a check swing, but he had already gone. He was chasing it down low. Thompson is retired. Beautiful pitch there. Really
nice pitch by Matt Scott there. Just too juicy for Thompson to lay off even as it left the zone. Too late for Bennett to change his mind.
Anson Arrows now up to the plate. Arrows with a double in the first inning. He came around to score the Ducks' first run. That was on that 2-run shot from Maddox Maloney. He was brought home. Arrows averaging .320 on the season. First pitch in there for a strike, and it seems like Scott slowly trying to find he's been finding that groove a little bit more. 0-1 the count, 2 outs, and Jacob Walsh, having walked as a second batter in this inning, over there on first. Walsh has 1 stolen base attempt on the year, and it was successful. With just 1 on the year, you're not too worried about him over there on first base. That pitch just misses low. 1-1 the count now. .61 pitches so far for Matt Scott, who's finding himself just settling in right now. Just misses outside. Good framing there from Malcolm Moore, though, doing what he can to try to get his pitcher that strike.
Yeah, I was about to say, Malcolm really tried to paint that one on the outer black there for William Van Raphorst. Didn't buy it, though.
2-1. Runner goes. It's a hit and run. A weird bouncing ball looping in. Larson coming in from first, it looked like. He can't make that play. Looking to scoop that up backhandedly, but it took a weird hop, and can't tell if that's going to be an error.
It's going to be a base hit. Yep, and that was a tough hop for Larson to play it on. One of the Texas leaguer, if you will, just not well hit, but hit in the right spot.
Unlucky for Matt Scott. That's happened twice already today now. He just gets a little bit unlucky. That could have been the end of the inning right there at either the force at second or at first, and instead now it's 2 runners on and 2 outs with Drew Smith coming up to the plate.
Yeah, a little mound visit here. There's nobody warming up, so Scott's staying in there. This is more to just kind of go over strategy here with 2 runners on and 2 out. As the Cardinal try to get out of this inning, still just down 1 run.
You think it's strategy and maybe a little of, hey, that was unfortunate, but
yeah.
you're finding your groove. Just
try to
stay
settle
with it.
settle things down a little bit, for sure.
Visit's going on just a little bit too long. William, as you said, Van Raphorst. Hard last name to say behind the plate there. Headed out. He's going to just have a conference with the Cardinal. He's just going to stand there. One of my favorite things in baseball is when the conference on the mound just goes a little too long, and even though the umpire arrives, they're just going to keep it going.
Keep talking.
Just keep it going.
Yeah. Ignore the presence of the blue.
It doesn't matter if he hears the strategy.
Yeah.
Drew Smith coming up to the plate, grounded out to third base in his first time up in the first inning. Now he comes up with 2 on, 2 outs. He'll face Scott for the second time today. Smith batting .311 on the year, hitting in the 7th spot here for the Ducks. Smith, we mentioned before, out of Clovis, California, the sophomore. Scott now checking the runner at second. Here's the pitch. It's funny, just as I was saying, Jacob Walsh had only 1 stolen base attempt on the year.
He's on the move, yeah.
Commentators curse, as they say.
You believe in that?
No.
All right. Just checking. Some people do.
Here's a pitch outside. 2-0 the count now.
And I wasn't trying to ask that, pointedly.
Okay,
I was just curious.
Do you believe in it? Based on how you asked it.
Though I was very much judging. But, no, I do not believe in it.
2-0 the count now. Scott checks the runner. Delivers. Just missing once again.
I think we broadcasters give ourselves too much credit.
Couldn't agree more.
Yes.
So Scott, after retiring 2 in a row, unfortunate play to allow arrows over to first base. He gets the hit, swinging a foul ball back, and now suddenly Scott finding himself behind in the count, now 3-1.
My least favorite baseball etiquette is when someone has a no-hitter going, not mentioning it. Come on, it's the story of the game. You'll get cold stares in a press box. What are we doing here?
That one I buy into. I do. Swinging a line drive to center field. That one's going to fall. Round the bag goes Walsh. He's going to score. Coming into third, sliding in safely is Arrows. And it's a RBI single for Drew Smith.
Yeah, good bit of 2-out hitting here. Nice 2-out rally for the Ducks. So had a runner on first with 2 out. Get the infield squib single. And then a well-hit single, and there you go. You tack on another run.
It's just unfortunate. You got to feel a little bit for Matt Scott, who really did look like he was out of the jam with that weird squib hit from Arrows for him to reach. And now suddenly, instead of that side being retired, Oregon tacks on another one. And Scott in the jam still. Runners at the corners, 2 outs. And Maddox Maloney, who had a 2-run shot in the first inning, now up to the plate. Here's the pitch. Maloney trying to make that look like it was inside. It certainly was not. That one in for the strike.
Well, this is certainly a hittable pitching staff. As good as Gordon is, you look up and down the Oregon pitching staff. You keep this within 2 runs, you're fine. Maddox leaves yard here. You got some issues on your hand.
Perhaps just pitching for a ground ball here or a strikeout for Scott. Suddenly ahead in the count, 0-2. Maddox Maloney fouls that back behind Stanford dugout. 0-2, 2 outs now. 1 pitch left maybe for Matt Scott to get out of this inning. Only 1 strike needed. Moore will step in front of the plate, have a chat.
Another inning he's had to labor. He won't get out of this in fewer than 27 pitches this inning.
We mentioned there's a difference between a high pitch count when it's not really laborious pitches. Yeah. These have pretty much all been pretty laborious.
Yep. Exactamundo.
Here's the 0-2. And a good take there from Maloney, almost like he was expecting an 0-2 pitch to not come in for a strike.
Yeah, and then it's where you have faith in Malcolm Moore behind the dish, right? If you're going to throw something in the dirt with someone on third base, you better have a good catcher to make sure that doesn't just crawl on by and make it a 4-1 game. So nice stop there by Malcolm.
So true. Here's the 1-2, swinging a foul ball back behind the stands. 1-2, we'll do it again. Another at bat for the Ducks where they're just running the pitches up.
Yeah, it's been really impressive up and down the lineup from the Ducks tonight from that aspect.
Wish we had the stat for how many foul balls we've had from the Ducks.
A lot. That's the official stat.
That's the official one.
I'd say double digits by this point.
Here's the 1-2. Scott delivers in the dirt once again. 2-2 the count now. Do you like these uses of the 0-2, of the 1-2 pitch?
Yeah, I do. Look, you definitely don't want to throw something right down Broadway, right? See if you can get them to chase. And these hitters have had good discipline.
Here's the pitch. Swinging a bouncing ball right by the diving arm of Haskins into left field. Base hit here for Maddox Maloney. Coming around to score is Arrows. The Ducks add to their lead.
It's just a pressure cooker every at-bat. And look, we've seen it time and time again. These Ducks hitters will get behind 0-2 and still really make Scott earn it. And there's another hitter that was behind 0-2, and Maddox Maloney coming through again. And look, your number 8 hitter now hitting .431 on the season. There's just not an easy out in this lineup.
Cardinal are going to have to figure something out, though. 2 on, 2 out once again. Now runners at first and second. Scott now facing Garate. Garate skies out all the way back, chasing. A big effort there. Big chase. It looks like that was Becerra chasing over there.
They put in Gabe Springer. So he's making his 12th appearance of the year. New this inning. Made a couple of starts. This will be his 10th appearance off the bench as a reserve.
He gives chase, can't get to it. Here's the 0-1. Swinging a high fly ball. That should do it. Coming in and putting it away is McDonald. But the damage once again is done. The Ducks tally 2 more. 4 runs for the Ducks, 6 hits, and 3 left on. Stanford, 1 run, 2 hits, and 0 left on base. We will head to the bottom of the third. We'll be back with you shortly. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Bottom of the third inning here. Ducks in the lead, 4-1. Plenty of baseball left to play. And Trevor Haskins, shortstop for the Stanford Cardinal, coming up to the plate for his first at-bat of the game. First pitch from R.J. Gordon in for a strike. 0-1 the count.
And just to go back for Springer and for Becerra, you wonder if he did anything sliding into second or on that long single where he tried to turn it into 2.
That's a good point. Of course, when there's just a change like that, you wonder if there's an injury, but I hadn't even considered that play exactly. Last time we saw him in the game right there. Swinging a high fly ball to left center field. Chasing is Betchers, and he gets there.
Well, that was nice play on the run there. Full speed the whole way. That was well hit by Haskins. That's just a loud out, though, and down 3 runs now. You're going to need to do more than loud out. So he put a charge into it, though, Haskins. That's going to be a frustrating one for Trevor.
Absolutely. That's one of those ones that when you look at the stat sheet, you're not going to see just how hard he hit that and how well he hit that. And, hey, credit to the Ducks, too. Some great defense there from Betchers chasing that down. Coming up now, taking for first pitch ball, Brady Reynolds. Reynolds, this being his first at-bat on the day. Reynolds for the year batting .228. Taking that in for a strike. 1-1 the count now to Brady Reynolds. Reynolds, the true freshman out of Bakersfield, California.
D-Town.
Would you say Bakersfield is Northern or Southern California?
Oh, it's definitely Southern California. Has anyone told you Bakersfield's Northern California?
I've heard.
I got to have a conversation with them.
In between, that's where they've said.
Oh,
they
that
would
is
say, I'm
south.
from Bakersfield. It's in between North and South.
I think to me, Fresno's like Central California. If you're south of Fresno, you're Southern California.
Bakersfield, just about 2.5 hours outside of LA.
I've
Southern California.
Made the drive from Bakersfield to LA a lot in my G League travels.
Reynolds. 3-1 the count now. Swings in a pop-up straight back behind home plate. Full count now to Reynolds. Reynolds, we mentioned the freshman. He's tied with Jake Sapien and Court McDonald for the second most walks on the team. So while he doesn't have the best average, he's getting on base in that 9 slot. Reynolds, we mentioned the freshman. In his youth years, he competed with USA U15 team. Strikes out. Reynolds with a strong at bat. It looked like he was making good contact with that, but instead, Gordon gets him.
Look, I'm bringing this up because I know you're a big cookie fan, and we're just talking about someone from Bakersfield. If you are ever in Bakersfield, California, 2 fat sandwiches, I'd say the best chocolate chip cookies I've had in SoCal.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is big talk. Best chocolate chip cookie is
in Southern California.
In Southern California, okay. First pitch ball here to Owen Cobb. Back to the top of the lineup for the Stanford Cardinal. Cobb flied out to right field in his first at bat. Just on the third pitch, and now on the second pitch of the at bat, he flies out to center field, and that'll do it for the inning. 1, 2, 3 for R.J. Gordon. Gordon doing some work on the mound for the Ducks. 4-1 it remains. Oregon in the lead, and we will head to the 4th inning. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Top of the 4th inning here. Matt Scott back on the mound for the Stanford Cardinals. Scott, 78 pitches already today. He heads back onto the mound. He was almost out of that last inning, and then that weird hit by Arrows, and thus ensued an onslaught. Multiple runs come in, finally getting out of it, and then Scott not getting much rest over there in the dugout. Stanford going 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the inning, so he's back on the mound. Now coming up for the Oregon Ducks. Top of the order, Bryce Betcher. Betcher, 2 strikeouts on the day so far. Hopefully a good place to start here for Scott.
Yeah, look, you got some success against this guy.
Foul ball over towards that barbecue.
You're talking about 2 sport athletes because Bryce Betcher is one. Gunner for the football team, really good gunner. I was talking with Joey McMurray, a baseball play-by-play guy, also a linebacker for football. Of course, he's on the baseball team. The most prominent multi-sport athlete I can think of at Oregon, I will tell you after this pitch.
Swinging a foul ball back behind the plate, 0-2 the count.
So Liz Brenner was a 4-sport athlete at Oregon. I remember she was an All-American volleyball player, also played basketball, threw the javelin and shot put for track and field, and then also played softball, substituting softball for track. This is about 10, 11 years ago. I remember covering her in my days writing for pack-12.com, #embrace the dash.
That pitch just missing. 1-2 now the count. 4 sports.
4 sports.
That's a lot for somebody in high school, let alone somebody in the Pac-12.
Yeah. It was impressive to watch.
I'm not sure that could be done in modern day. Got him swinging once again, and something about facing Betcher is working for Matt Scott. Scott versus Betcher, 3 for 3 strikeouts, all of them swinging, and Betcher heading back to the bench, frustrated.
Yeah, he's got Betcher fooled for sure. And look, you always want to start the inning with an out. Good start to this inning. He's at 82 pitches right now. Try to make this a little more economical so you can get through 5 handed off to your bullpen.
First pitch.
Whew.
To Chase Magers, and he just smacks that. That did not stay in the park whatsoever, but well foul.
Magers not fooled on that one.
We've got some new baseballs here from the ball boy. No, not fooled at all. He pulled that. Just, when I say out of the park, I mean well out of the park.
Yeah.
But all that will count for is a strike. 0-1 the count now to Magers. Magers batting .343 on the season. 923 OPS. Here's the pitch. High and outside. 1-1 the count now to Magers.
You ever watch Rookie of the Year or Little Big League?
No.
All right. Well, one of those movies, I forget which one. I'll continue the story.
Dennis Quaid? That's the Rookie.
Or yeah, that's the Rookie. Rookie of the Year is like this kid's a pitcher for the Cubs. It was either that one or the other one that I mentioned where a kid is a manager for the Minnesota Twins, where this guy just creams a ball with like the pennant on the line and it just goes foul.
Oh. Rookie of the Year, the one with the kid who was a pitcher for the Cubs, is that what it is?
And let me just
weird surgery on his arm. Those of you listening.
Yeah.
If you know.
1993 movie.
93. Nobody on the diamond right now was born. Scott gets Magers swinging. 2 strikeouts in a row for Scott to start this inning. And now Jacob Walsh coming up to the plate. Walsh with a double in the first inning, a walk in the third. Comes up to the plate for his 3rd appearance, and Walsh batting just under 300 on the year, slugging almost 700. He's got a 1.078 OPS. Just a terrifying person to be facing.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. The top 2 hitters in the order are a combined 0 for 6 against Scott. The rest of the lineup is 6 of 14.
That'll tell you a lot about this Oregon Ducks lineup here. It's not what you would expect. Scott just misses. 1-0 the count now.
6 of 12, excuse me. I was doing my math wrong.
Still for baseball, 500.
Yeah.
Walsh absolutely skies that to right field. That one is gone into the trees. Walsh with a solo shot. The Ducks go up 5-1. Well, he got all of that and more.
Well, you'd expect nothing less from the Oregon Ducks career home run king. 37th of his career, and this being just his 3rd season at the U of O. And that was a skyscraper.
It's a skyscraper for sure. Back-to-back home run games for Walsh. He had 2 home runs versus Gonzaga in the midweek game. Now he homers here. Back-to-back games for him. And now on the first pitch, Hurd skies that one to left field. McDonald will put it away. And that seems to be the story of this game so far for the Cardinal. 1 run allowed, 2 strikeouts and a flyout for Matt Scott. And now the Cardinal will look to answer some of these points for themselves. The Cardinal with just 1 run and 2 hits. Oregon 5 runs and 7 hits. Cardinal coming up in the bottom of the 4th inning here, looking to get some on the board. We'll be back with you shortly. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Bottom of the 4th inning, the Stanford Cardinal looking to get their offense going, trying to get those bats going. And second hitter, Ethan Hott in the 2 spot, coming off to lead off this inning. Hott grounded out to the pitcher in his first and only at bat in the 1st inning. It's my favorite time of the day when the kid announcer.
Yes. Hey, we got an 8-year-old girl doing it. She was fantastic.
Just love it. It's more exciting when they announce it.
Yeah.
We've got some great PA here, but just that singular inning makes it really fun. 1-0 the count, taking it all the way is Hott. 1-1 now to Ethan Hott.
Yeah, really nice curveball. I must say, Stanford is blessed with Jeff Knox as their PA guy. I love listening to Jeff.
Nobody better. Hott finds the gap, diving for it, almost getting there is Meggers. He can't get it. Into second, sliding is Hott, and he makes it in safely. Hott with a lead-off double to start the fourth.
And he had to be thinking two the entire way. That is good hustle from Ethan, because coming in from center was Betcher to back up Meggers. And if he wasn't legging that out the whole way, he would have been gunned down.
Absolutely. A good backup there, as you mentioned, in the field for the Oregon Ducks. That's what you need. Meggers diving. I thought that had found the gap pretty easily, and Meggers made it pretty difficult out there. But this is what Stanford need. After allowing 4 runs unanswered, they need some answers of their own, and double to start it off for Hott. Showing bunt now. It's Court McDonald. McDonald walked in the first inning at his only at bat. McDonald averaging .323 on the year. Averaging .333 with runners on base. I feel like we got cut off a little bit. We were giving Jeff Knox, PA here for baseball, his props.
I feel like if we were reporting a story, this is where we would have to give the disclaimer that one of us is related to Jeff.
Distantly. Hey, doesn't make it untrue.
Yeah. Very, very true.
McDonald finds the base hit into left field. This time, Meggers lets that one fall in front of them. He didn't have the backup that time, so he lets that one fall. A smart play for Meggers in left field, but suddenly Stanford threatening. Hott over to third. McDonald with a single.
I think it has something to do with the junior PA announcer. I know we just talked about no broadcaster, commentator curse or whatever. That's the ultimate excuse me single there. Like, McDonald just kind of, like, he check swing and he check swung into a base hit.
Sometimes you just need a little bit of luck. Stanford hasn't had it so far this game, and finally starting to come their way. But it looked like it was on purpose to me. A beautiful opposite field, and it's all because of the kid PA.
Yeah.
First pitch in there just misses. 1-0 the count now to cleanup hitter Malcolm Moore. Moore is responsible for the only run that the Cardinal have posted so far. He had a solo shot in the second inning to lead off the second. Now he's up here with 2 on and nobody out. Here's the pitch just outside. That's good framing work from Thompson behind the plate. First time we've called his name.
Look, Gordon's going to want to be careful with Moore. He just gave up a homer to him. Of course, Moore is a guy who has 24 homers in a season and a half here on the farm. Try to pitch around him, perhaps. But you also don't want to load the bases with nobody out. So,
I was going to say, tricky situation, though.
Yeah, precarious spot here for R.J. Gordon.
Perhaps you're trying to keep that ball low. Malcolm Moore, a power hitter, slugging almost 500 on the year, batting .231 overall, and he'll take that one outside, low and outside, and more good framing work here from Thompson, but not fooled.
Yeah, and look, I think that .231 is kind of a matter of sample size. The more he plays, I think he's going to be up at least in the 250s, 260s by season's end.
3-0 now. Moore takes all the way outside. 4-pitch walk to Malcolm Moore. Now the bases are loaded. And suddenly, Stanford with a no-out rally of their own. And Brandon Larson coming up to the plate with the bases loaded. Larson struck out in the second inning. Comes up now for the second at-bat of the day. Brandon Larson, 5-hitter for the Cardinal, batting .273 on the year, batting .333 with runners on base. That's exactly what you want from your 5-hitter. Here's the pitch. Larson takes all the way. I think that's smart. A 4-pitch walk. Why not take all the way on that first pitch?
Yeah, exactly. Make him throw a strike.
That one off speed from Gordon coming in at 78 miles an hour. Now this one fastball, 94 miles an hour. just misses outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bases loaded, nobody out for the Cardinal. Larson with the bases loaded on the year, 1 for 2. He's hitting .500 with the bases loaded. There's the pitch, swinging a foul tip backwards. 1-2 the count now to Larson. I think the only thing you can't do or you don't want to do if you're Brandon Larson is hit into a double play.
Yeah.
It's the only thing you don't want to do, right?
Exactly.
Just get that ball up, pop it up out of that infield. Just get it out of the infield into some capacity, but easier said than done, especially against somebody like R.J. Gordon on the mound who's been having his way with the Cardinal tonight. That one misses high and outside. 2-2.
Yeah, this could be a big swing point in this game, Sarah. Bases loaded, nobody out. This is Stanford's opportunity to really get back into it.
Absolutely. This is what when you look back at the game and you say the momentum swung or didn't swing in this moment, these are the moments. Here's the pitch, low and outside. Full count now to Brandon Larson. Crowd starting to get into it, rallying behind Larson. Gordon has missed outside. Let's see, all 4 pitches to walk more. 3 pitches in this at bat. Here's the payoff. Swing, and he got him swinging. Larson goes down swinging.
Yeah, huge time to get your 4th strike out of your R.J. Gordon. You didn't want to ground out in a double play. You also didn't want to strike out. Now you set up a double play can get you out of this inning completely unscathed.
Charlie Somm comes up to the plate. Somm, the designated hitter, struck out in the 2nd inning. Mentioned Somm was behind the plate in the midweek game versus Sacramento State. He was 2 for 4. He had a big day at the plate. Going to try to continue that today. And specifically right now, swing, first pitch, hits that to right field, right over the head of the right fielder Hurd. And here come the Cardinal around the bag, goes hot, he'll score around 3rd and coming home, and it looks like that might have gone and bounced over the wall for a ground roll double.
That is 1 hop the fence, and that is a huge hit there from Charlie Somm. Stanford really in business and in a good position to keep on adding more. There's no force here. 2nd and 3rd, 1 out. This could be a chance for a huge inning. Already a crooked number up on the board here in the 4th. A chance to tie or take the lead now.
Charlie Somm coming up big as that designated hitter. You mentioned it. This is when momentum can start to swing. Now suddenly 2 on, 1 out. And Gabe Springer getting his first at-bat of the day. We mentioned Gabe Springer came in for 1-for-1 change for Timo Becerra. That was a defensive substitution at the time. Obviously, we haven't heard anything from Timo Becerra. We don't know if he's hurt, but it was unexpected, this change. But Springer comes in. This is his first at-bat of the day, and a big one it is. Springer averaging 200 on the season, averaging 333 with runners on base. Good work behind the plate there from Thompson to keep that ball in play.
Yeah, just hasn't had a lot of swings this year. 3 hits and 15 at-bats, so a small sample size for Springer.
I have to say, though, he's done a lot with them. When he's not striking out, you mentioned 15 at-bats, 6 of those strikeouts, but when he wasn't striking out, walked twice, 1 home run, 3 RBIs. When he gets those hits, it's productive. 2-0 the count now. Here's the pitch. Springer pops it up. Calling it off is shortstop Maloney, and he'll put it away.
Yeah, that one hurts.
It does. Unproductive out, as they call it.
Yeah.
Trevor Haskins now up to the plate. Shortstop for the Stanford Cardinal. And his first at bat last inning, flied out to center field. Now Haskins has a job to do with 2 outs and 2 on. Malcolm Moore over on 3rd. Charlie Somm on 2nd after that RBI ground roll double. Haskins takes the first pitch for a strike. Haskins batting .295 on the season, batting .259 with runners on base. Haskins has hit safely in 12 of his last 13 games, looking to continue that here, and he slices that one backwards. Mentioned Haskins did not reach in his previous at-bat, his only at-bat in this game, last inning. So he's looking to continue that trend for himself. One of two players who had 2 hits in 1 inning in that midweek game versus Sac State here for the Cardinal. 0-2 the count now, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. High and tight. Good take there from Haskins.
Opponent's hitting just 115 against Gordon with 2 out. Just a really impressive number. Let's see if Trevor can defy the odds here.
1-2 now. Gordon delivers again, taking.
He didn't go.
Yeah, trying to look down. Not a bad idea. Thompson behind the plate for the Ducks, trying to look down to Angel Campos over at first base to get him to possibly say if Haskins went around. He did not. 2-2 the count now. 2 outs, 2 on. Taking all the way. That one looked a lot closer than I think it should have been.
That curveball had a lot of bite on it. Into the dirt. Those could be juicy, but a good eye there, and Trevor's worked the count full.
That's a hard one to lay off of.
Yeah.
Full count now, 3-2, 2 outs and 2 on. Cardinal having already tallied 2 in this inning, looking to get more. Go ahead run at the plate. Tying run on second. Haskins works back in the count and gets the walk. A big walk there for Trevor Haskins. Now the bases are loaded for Brady Reynolds.
A big spot here for Brady. Now I think if you're Gordon, you're not crestfallen about that walk because you go from a 295 hitter to a 225 hitter. Mm-hmm. Even if you get a force out.
Yep.
So
I was going to say the force at home is huge too.
Yeah.
That was the go-ahead run at the plate, so go-ahead run is already on base or at the plate, so this makes less of a difference as well. Brady Reynolds, we mentioned, hitting in that last 9th spot for the Cardinal. 225 average on the year. He has not gotten a hit yet with the bases loaded. Reynolds struck out looking in his first at-bat and only at-bat on the day. This one, he'll take the walk. Reynolds gets hit by a pitch. And just like that, R.J. Gordon walks a run home just when we were saying, hey, that was okay to load the bases right there.
In that case, it wasn't. But, yeah, that's huge. Like, they had a 2-run double. Now you get the hit by pitch. And for as challenging as this thing looked for the Cardinal, they're only down a run, and here's a mound visit, and they got some activity in the Oregon bullpen as well.
Well, are we starting to see a trend with the Stanford Cardinal where they just get a bunch of runs in 1 inning, and then they call it a day? A visit to the mound, 5-4, Oregon in the lead. You mentioned it was starting to look like it was getting away from the Cardinal here. Mound visit is over, and we're back to the top of the lineup, might I add. Owen Cobb will come up here with 2 outs, and after this, we'll be back to Ethan Haught. Ethan Haught led off this inning with a double. So if Owen Cobb can get on base here and make something happen, we'll be back around for a second time through in the lineup. But even so, a huge inning already for the Stanford Cardinal. 3 runs, 4 hits. Now bases are loaded for Owen Cobb. Cobb has flied out to left field and to center field in his 2 at-bats so far today. First pitch gets him swinging. Strike 1. Cobb batting .270 on the year. Batting .250 with the bases loaded. slugging almost 500. He's got some power on him, especially for a leadoff hitter. And this one is going to find the gap between left and center field, around the bases. Go the Cardinal, rounding third, and he's going to be waved home as Brady Reynolds diving in, and he makes it safe. Owen Cobb clears the bases. 3-run score for the Cardinal on that double from Owen Cobb. And this stadium is electric right now.
Yeah, the 2-out at-bat's huge for Stanford. You get the hit by pitch, and then Cobb just levels one to left center. Beautiful piece of hitting from Owen Cobb, and clearing the ducks off the pond, if you will. And now it's turned into a 6-run fourth inning, and the damage not complete.
Cobb on base, and Ethan Haught now coming up for his second at-bat of the inning. Haught had a double to lead off this entire inning. It started all with Ethan Haught with that leadoff double, and now Haught with Cobb on base, and you could see the excitement from Owen Cobb in that dugout. Cardinal absolutely pumped for what's happening here. Outside, 1-1 the count. Owen Cobb, 3 for 5 on stolen bases on the year. He's got some speed on him. With a right-handed pitcher, it would be surprising, but we won't see that. A line drive right to third baseman Garate, and that'll do it. But Stanford put 6 on the board in this inning. 7 runs to 5. Now Stanford in the lead for the first time in the game. We've got a game, everybody. Coming back for the top of the 5th inning shortly. Hello, everybody. Welcome back for the top of the 5th inning. And Kevin Dana will take you through the rest of this game for a play-by-play.
Thank you, Sarah. 6-run fourth inning, putting Stanford on top of the Ducks. 7-5 Oregon, ranked 16th in a few polls. The one we recognize, the Baseball America Top 25. There are 5 major polls in college baseball. The Ducks range anywhere from 14th to 23rd. Stanford unranked right now, as the Ducks will send up hitters 5, 6, and 7 against Matt Scott, who's going to try to get through 5 and hopefully, for his sake, be in line for a W. Would be his 3rd win of the year if he could get it. Bennett Thompson 0 for 2. He will lead things off here in the road half of the 5th for the Ducks. Pitch number 91 on the evening coming right now from Senior Scott, and it's low and in for ball 1.
Yeah, Thompson, one of the few Ducks who hasn't really been able to find connections between that bat and the ball yet. Flying out to left field in the first, striking out in the third.
Fastball missing outside, 2-0. And the goal here for Scott, get the shutdown inning. Keep a 2-run lead at the halfway mark of this one. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That misses inside, 3-0. So not exactly where you want to be if you're Matt Scott. Thompson, see if he's taking all the way. Hitting now 262 this season, Thompson. There's strike 1. Bennett, the junior from Medford, Pac-12 All-Tournament selection last year, was the starting catcher over the last month of the season. Here's the 3-1 pitch, and this one is skied foul. Don't think it's going to be playable for Springer, who gives it chase, and yes, it lands in the grassy hill area just beyond the road dugout along the third base line.
I'm going to guess this is a short leash for Scott on the mound this inning. 2 pitchers in the bullpen for the Cardinal, both of them looking like they're pretty warm.
Yeah, you'd like to get him through 5 if you can to get him in line for the win. But obviously game situations will dictate that. The breaking ball gets him for strike 3, and that is the 6th strikeout of the game for Matt Scott.
You say grinding it out. This might be the definition of grinding it out if you're Matt Scott. He's doing a great job of it.
Anson Arrows from Auburn, California, a little north of Sacramento. Northeast, I suppose. He's 2 for 2 today. That's bumped his average up to 327. A double in the second, single in the third. He scored both times. And he checks swings. Did not go around. So says our third base umpire, Frank Pflugrad. Pflugrad at third, Nathan White at second, Angel Campos at first, William Van Raphorst behind the dish. The 1-0 swung on and missed. We have an even count, 1-1.
Well, it's working for Scott right now.
Yeah, he has certainly looked good in this inning.
I think that was the first time we've seen him have that kind of command of that breaking ball. At least in this game, that is.
And that pitch missing low, 2-1. Anson Arrows ahead in the count here. Check swing, doesn't matter. It was in the zone, 2-2. Arrows, list all these family athletic ties if you look at bio pages. Well, his uncle is one of the original founders of professional bull riding. It's pretty sweet.
That's unique to say the least.
Yeah. Here's the 2-2, and this one lined to center, going back a little bit. Ethan Hott catches it well before the warning track, and there's the second out of the inning. So 2 up, 2 down here for the Ducks in the top of the 5th.
The Ducks have been able to do plenty of damage with 2 outs, though, so not a time to relax for Scott.
He's just gone north of 100 pitches, as Matt Scott. And it was a 12-pitch 4th inning. Gave up a run. Gave up 2 runs in the second, 2 in the third, 1 in the fourth. Trying to make it a scoreless cinco here. Drew Smith now takes ball 1. He's 1 for 2 with an RBI single in the third. Maddox Maloney on deck. This one popped foul over the Stanford dugout. And about 5 rows up as it bounces back towards the dugout. And a race for the foul ball. Won by a youngster.
You're telling me they're going to take it away from the youngster?
They're going to take it away from him. It's heartless.
It really is.
Like the Kanye West track with Kid Cudi and
it's exactly
2008.
What everybody was thinking when they heard Heartless.
I say the only redeemable song on that album. Hot take.
It's a hot take right there.
Yeah, here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. It's a hot take zone, Sarah.
It is. It is. Plenty of hot takes here. No commentators curse.
Yeah. There's the 1-2 pitch to Drew Smith, the Clovis kid. Scott comes home. Slider away, 2-2.
Mentioned a shorter inning for Scott last inning with regards to pitch count. This one as well. I mean, if he can retire Smith here, shortest pitch count of the night for him in this inning.
2-2 again. Got him on the outside corner. Got him looking. Reverse K for Matt Scott, who's 7th strikeout of the night. And he gets through 5 as the Cardinal halfway through this one has a 7-5 lead over the Oregon Ducks. We'll come back with the bottom of the 5th after this. Court McDonald will start things off in the home half of the 5th for the Stanford Cardinal, leading 7-5 against Oregon. Kevin Anna, Sarah Ash with you here at Sunken Diamond. Fireworks night on the farm. Cardinal Palooza tomorrow. Stanford baseball will be a part of it. 2:05 first pitch here at Sunken Diamond tomorrow. Court's 1 for 1 with a walk, singled and scored in the fourth. As part of the 6-run fourth. R.J. Gordon still on the bump here for the Ducks after giving up the 6-run fourth inning. All 7 runs he's given up have been earned. 2-1 to McDonald. He's hitting .328 this year, Court.
Even with that 6-run inning for the Cardinal in the bottom of the fourth, Gordon still under 70 on his pitch count. That was 69 right there, that pitch.
Yeah, he's averaging, coming into this inning, 17 pitches per inning. He has 52 strikeouts now and 54 in the third innings this season. He struck out 4 tonight through the first 4 innings. Here's the 2-2. It's a low and away, 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Runs the count full here to Court. It's McDonald, Moore, and Larson due up for the Cardinal here in the bottom of the fifth. So we start the second half of Pac-12 play. 15 games down, 15 to go, and there's ball 4. Good eye by Court McDonald. It's his second walk drawn this evening.
McDonald just doing such a great job today of getting on base. Of course, this is the part of the lineup that started that rally in the last inning that led to 6 runs, and part of it is really just getting those base runners that Stanford really didn't have before that. But, I mean, Court McDonald tied for second on the team in a number of walks that he's been able to draw in the season. You can see why right here. That was the second walk of the day, as you said.
And 15th of the season now, to your point. R.J. Gordon has walked 4 tonight. So he checks over on first base. McDonald taps back in safely. He does lead the team with 8 stolen bases this year, Court. He's been caught stealing thrice.
Well, the more attempts you have, the more times you're probably going to get caught stealing, right?
Yep. Truer words never spoken.
8 of 11, though. Still not too shabby.
73% of the time he's able to reach safely. Malcolm Moore, 1 for 1 with a walk. He walked and scored in the fourth, homered in the second, a leadoff homer in that inning. And takes that one low, 1-0. So Moore sitting on a .231 average, 9 homers, 21 batted in. He's walked 28 times this year to lead the team. He's 4th in the conference in walks, tied for 4th. And entered today tied for 8th in the conference in home runs. For the reigning Pac-12 freshman OTY of the year. There's the 1-0. Breaking ball in there for strike 1.
83 miles an hour. We've talked about how Gordon can really change up that speed. I mean, those breaking balls in the mid-80s, and then that off-speed, just, 10 miles an hour, even slower? I mean,
we've seen him go from 76 to 94, one pitch to the next. And this one is drilled deep to right field. This is a no-doubter 2-run blast for Malcolm Moore. And the Cardinal now has a 9-5 lead thanks to the second home run of the game for Malcolm Moore.
A 2-run shot. Malcolm Moore, he just drilled that. You could hear it when it popped off the bat. That had some power.
Whew. Exit velo of 105 miles an hour. That one went 415 feet. Stanford 9, Oregon 5, 10th jack of the season for number 10.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, this stadium, if it wasn't on fire already from that previous inning, it certainly is now.
It's been a launching pad tonight as this one is grounded to second by Larson. Over to make the play is Smith. And there's the first out of the 5th. Gordon has been tagged tonight. 9 runs given up, all earned, 7 hits, 4 walks, 3 doubles. So he's given up 5 extra base hits, the 2 home runs to Moore, and a trio of doubles. For a guy whose ERA was sub 360 coming into this game at 358, it's now up to 477, which is Oregon's ERA as a staff coming into this game. That number will go north after this one. Unless, as this one's tap foul, we were to play about 35 innings tonight.
Some fast math right there.
Which hopefully we don't.
Hopefully we don't. You know what? For everybody's benefit.
Yeah. I remember being here for a Stanford Cal game in 2012 that went 18 innings. That's the longest game I've been at.
I definitely have been at 18 innings. 2 games worth
of
innings right there.
It's a
rarity.
Long night at the park.
Yeah. How many hours was that?
I think it was like 5:50 or something. Oh, diving stab attempt made. Oh, what a play. Great job by Walsh. And covering in time as R.J. Gordon just kept it in front of him to Jacob Walsh. And was able to make the throw from the dirt. As that was hit well by Som, but not well enough.
Yeah, that one had some power on it coming off the bat, but like you said, a beautiful diving play by Walsh, and maybe even a better job to just keep that in front of him, really.
Springer 0 for 1, popped out to short with the runners on second and third and 1 out in the 4th inning. Now 3 for 16 on the season. Head in the count, 2-0.
Well, we've seen some power in this game. 2 home runs for the Ducks so far, and 2 home runs for the Stanford Cardinal.
4 round trippers. Not quite through 5 innings. Strike 1 there, outer half, 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Haskins on deck here for the Cardinal. Springer looks to prolong the inning. Already a 2-run inning for the Cardinal here in the 5th. And now Springer ahead in the count 3-1.
Activity in the bullpen here for the Ducks, but probably both teams just trying to get these starters through 5. We mentioned still a low pitch count.
Springer puts a charge into this one. Deep right center, but underneath that coming over is Betcher to make the catch. So that will do it for the 5th, but not before a 2-run blast for Malcolm Moore makes it a 9-5 Stanford lead as we head to the 6th here on the Stanford live stream. Top of the 6th, new pitcher on the bump here for the Cardinal to be Torrin O'Haron, the sophomore from Rockland, making his 16th appearance. He has made 1 start this season, and it came on Sunday in the 11-10 win. He got a no decision for his 2 innings of work against the Oregon State Beavers, their lone win in that 3-game set up in Corvallis. But on this season, 1-2 with a 4.70 ERA. Leads the team with 4 saves. He's thrown 23 innings this year, 16 hits, 12 runs, all of them earned, 18 walks against 30 strikeouts in those 23 innings. Opponents hitting just 198 against him, tied for 5th in the Pac-12 with those 4 saves.
Closing the book here on Matt Scott. 5 innings pitched, 7 hits, 5 runs given up, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts across 25 batters faced. Total pitch count of 106 for him. All in all, a good day for Matt Scott.
In line for the win. And look, he had a better outing numbers-wise the Friday prior. Took the L. Got some run support today.
Sometimes that's just how it goes.
And he's a guy who traditionally has not had a ton of run support this year. He had 4 games this year where he was given 3 runs or less of run support. Swing and a miss there for Maddox Maloney, who's 2 for 2 today, and 4 times had 2 runs or less of run support, 2 runs or fewer. Now, somewhat expectedly, 0-4 in those starts. 1-1 to Maloney, who homered in the 2nd. And an RBI single, so he has 3 RBI today, Maddox Maloney. 1-1 to numero nueve. Strike 2 taken. Outer half. 94-mile-an-hour fastball there to the Springfield, Oregon native, who was this high school class valedictorian at Thurston High.
It's a fun stat.
That is.
Maloney got that scoring started, as you mentioned, for the Ducks with that 2-run shot in the first. That was the first runs we saw posted on the board across either team, really.
Yeah. It's 5-1 Oregon heading into the fourth. Bottom of the fourth before Stanford hung 6 on R.J. Gordon. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And Torin O'Haron gets his 31st strikeout of the season. Look, he is averaging well more than 9 strikeouts per 9 innings, more than a K per IP. Really impressive stuff from Torin O'Haron this year.
That's what you need coming out of the dugout.
Yeah. Well, he was a little wild last year. The 11.65 ERA had 20 walks in 17 innings, but he also struck out 25 guys in those 17 innings. So getting it done as he's behind Garate 1-0 here. Carter Garate, the sophomore from Murrieta in SoCal. There's the 1-0 pitch, missing high and outside. Touching 94 again is Torin O'Haron. Went to Rockland High, first team All-League there. Is in the Rockland High Hall of Fame. Also a football player for high school pigskin team. 2-0 skied into foul territory. Appears to be playable perhaps. And making the catch, did he hold on to it? Yes, he did. Larson makes the catch as he runs into the railing by the Stanford dugout.
Players in the dugout got out of there in a hurry, and that was their excitement was palpable watching Larson make that basket catch hanging over the railing. And it really didn't look like he was going to get there. The last minute just sticks that glove out, snags it.
Well, nobody on, 2 out here in the top of the 6th for Bryce Betcher.
Betcher having a tough day today. 3 appearances at the plate, 3 strikeouts, all of them swinging.
This one popped foul, and Malcolm Moore underneath it makes the catch. A quick 1-2-3 for O'Haron in the 6th. And Stanford cruising over these last couple of innings. A 4-run lead as we head to the bottom of the 6th. We'll take the break. Come on back with the home half of the inning here on the Stanford live stream. New pitcher on the bump here for Oregon. It is Ryan Featherston from Bakersfield, California, as Sarah was just pointing out to me beforehand. 1-1 with a 3.86 ERA out of over 9 appearances, all out of the pen for Featherston. Has a save, 23 1/3 IP, 16 hits, 11 runs, 10 earned, 10 walks, 21 strikeouts. Opponents hitting 193 against the righty. Now, have you spent much time in Bakersfield?
A little bit.
Okay.
Not all that much. Can't say all that much, but a little bit.
I am very fond of the town.
I'm a big fan also.
Say when there was a G League team there, the Bakersfield Jam, they put teams up in the best hotel in the G League, or one of the best hotels, the Marriott on Truxton. Just a fantastic place, and so I have fond memories of that place. This is skied foul by Haskins. It's Haskins, Reynolds, Cobb. 8-9-1 here for the Cardinal due-up.
People don't know there's some beautiful state parks right around Bakersfield.
Really?
Very accessible, yeah.
I
Good
didn't.
place to be.
I was just there for basketball. I did not really venture out too much. Swing and a miss. He definitely went around, and it was also in the zone, 0-2.
Closing the books on R.J. Gordon here for the Oregon Ducks. Starting pitcher went 5 innings, 7 hits, 9 runs allowed, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts across, of course, like I said, 5 innings pitched. He didn't even hit 100 on the pitch count. 86 pitches total for him. 2 home runs given up as well. Yeah,
it was the 4th and the 5th that did him in, giving up just the 1 run through the first 3, but the 6 hung on him in the 4th and then gave up 2 more in the 5th, really doing him in. And here comes the 1-2 from Featherston, and Haskins looks at strike 3. Beautiful pitch, off speed, got him at 77.
Yeah, Haskins looks like he was trying to hold up there, but the moment he held up on it, he knew he was done. A beautiful pitch.
So
when you see a player do that, you know that that timing just really tied them up.
Yeah, that's for sure. Brady Reynolds, speaking of Bakersfield kids, went to Liberty High. All-State there, two-time first-team All-Leaguer for the freshman. Take strike one.
Reynolds drew that huge walk that at the end of the day, R.J. Gordon walked a run home because of that walk that he delivered to Reynolds back in that fourth.
Yeah. That's a good point. Reynolds hit by a pitch. Struck out looking in the third, so he's 0 for 1 officially today as he's hitting .225 on the season. Got an RBI on the hit by pitch as his bases were loaded. That made it 5-4 at that point. The floodgates open with the Owen Cobb bases clearing double to make it 7-5. Next batter. Tailing away from him, 3-1.
You look at the statistics in this game, and overall hitting, obviously Stanford hitting a little bit better, but it's relatively even. Where you see the huge difference here is runners on base, Oregon hitting .364, and hey, that's a great statistic.
Yeah.
But in comparison, Stanford with runners on .571.
Yeah, that's better.
To say the least.
Yeah, that's 4 for 7. And there's a walk on 5 pitches to Reynolds. So lineup card flipped over. Here comes Cobb with a 3-run double in the fourth. He's 1 for 3 today, hitting .275, the Seattle native, grad student in his 5th year. Before he got to Stanford, he was drafted in the 37th round by the Padres in 2019. Shows bunt, takes strike one.
I like that showing of bunt. A little small ball here for the Stanford Cardinal potentially, and why not? You've got 4-run lead right now. Just try to add to it. Don't get greedy with it, right?
Because 4-run lead might not be enough against Oregon with as powerful as their bats are. This one drilled deep to left. It's tailing foul. It's going to be, well foul, but left the yard.
I think it left the trees behind the yard.
Yeah. Well, there used to be a guy who used to clean up all the balls kind of behind the fences over there. I don't know if he's still around, but was like known for doing that.
Did he get to keep them?
I think he brought them back. I forget his name. We're going back a decade now. There's strike 3. Chasing that pitch, Cobb. He's 1 for 4. Runner stays at first. It's Reynolds. Ethan Hott, appropriately coming up to Hot in here. You know, Nelly's coming to Chase Center with, he's coming with a big name singer.
He might be coming with Missy Elliott.
I think that sounds right. I'll double
those
check
of you
this.
millennials out there listening,
Yeah.
don't drive those ticket prices up. I think Kevin and I both want to be there.
Yeah. It's Janet Jackson.
Oh.
Yeah. They throw back to first as the pitch just gets it safely to Reynolds. It's June 12th, if you're curious. Not that we're doing promos here for Chase Center.
Tight play right there. Reynolds truly almost picked off. Reynolds 4 for 6 on stolen bases on the year. Second most steals and second most attempts on the team.
Breaking ball in the dirt. Doing a good job to keep that one in front of him was Thompson. 2-1 the count. To Hott, who doubled and scored in the fourth. Part of that 6-run inning. Yeah, he had 2 plate appearances in the fourth. Fouls that one off. Not quite the 2-hit inning that we were talking about. He lined out to end the inning. in the fourth, but back up here in the sixth. He's 1 for 3 today. Hot from Paradise Valley, Arizona, 6A Region Player of the Year as a senior when he was a team captain. Second in the conference with 46 runs scored. Had 22 stolen bases that year, did Hot. And that one in the dirt. Heading for second and sliding in safely as the throw gets away a little bit is Reynolds.
Yeah, wild throw there from Thompson, and that could have been a lot worse. I mean, we could have seen Reynolds head to third there, but a good backup there from shortstop Maloney. But Thompson behind the plate, it was a wild pitch. He did what he could to keep it in front of him, and then knowing that throw would have been late, he still fired that down.
So not a stolen base for Reynolds. Count 3-2. With the runner on second, this one drilled to short, played on a hop beautifully by Maloney. The throw in time. Dug out very well by Walsh. What a play. Maloney to Walsh 6-3, and that helped save a potential run as it stays at 9-5. Stanford heading to the seventh here at Sunken Diamond. Ducks up here in the seventh. It'll be 2-3-4. Meggers, Walsh, and Hurd for Coach Wazakowski in his fifth season at the helm, 151 and 81. He's led Oregon to 3 regionals and the Super Regionals last year, leading Oregon to its first NCAA since 2015, the first year that he did it in 2021 as the head honcho. So, here's the first pitch from O'Haron, and it is hit well foul by Meggers, who's 0 for 3. So the first 2 hitters in the order are 0 for 7. The rest of the team is 7 for 19.
Yeah, it's a little backwards. It's a bit flipped. But then when you think about the averages and the batting averages and the power that you get at the bottom of the lineup for the Ducks, it's suddenly not so surprising.
Yeah, that's for sure. No. Here's the 1-1 from O'Haron. Scoots away from Moore, 2-1 as it misses inside.
I think this is what you see from, successful teams. The Ducks just narrowly second in the Pac-12 right now, having a great season, ranked 16th overall in the nation. And I think that when you look at any great team that's winning championships, they get production from the bottom of the order, so that doesn't all have to depend on the top of the order, and that's what you see here from the Ducks.
Yeah, good point. And the fastball blowing right by Meggers, 2-2, 92 from O'Haron. Oh, and the curveball at 78. What a pitch. Second strikeout for Torin O'Haron tonight.
4 batters faced, 2 strikeouts, 2 flyouts.
That's sufficient from Torin. Well, now it gets real with Walsh, who's 2 for 2 with a walk, a double, and a home run. He's slugging .707 this year, like a Northern California area code. Fastball high inside, high and tight. It's like northern California, if I remember correctly. This one hit sharply on the ground. That will scoot through into right field. So Walsh has reached base safely 4 times. He's 3 for 3 with that single. He's a triple shy of the cycle.
Not surprised, honestly. He's been seeing the ball so well. He's been hitting it with power. And, I mean, that time he just finds the hole. Beautiful piece of at-bat and batting from Jacob Walsh just across the board here, all 4 of his at-bats.
Jeffrey Hurd, San Jose kid, 2 years at Sac State before transferring to Eugene. Won a summer ball title in the Cal Ripken Senior Collegiate League with Big Train. Was first team all-league in the Summer League, team offensive Pody, player of the year. 1-0 the count here to Hurd. Where's number 35 and way out in front of the off-speed pitch from Torin O'Haron. Here's the 1-1. Got him again with the curve.
That off speed, well, everything's been working,
Yeah.
but specifically that off speed been really working for O'Haron right now.
He could touch 94, drop down to the mid-high 70s. It's been a really good outing to this point for Torrin O'Haron, who went 2 innings in the start on Sunday in the win over Oregon State. Another one swung through and missed. Strike 3, a foul tipped into the glove of Malcolm Moore, actually, and that's the 3rd strikeout for O'Haron.
O'Haron just tearing through this lineup right now. He's making it look easy. If you're just, I feel like if you're just tuning in for this inning, O'Haron's making it look like this is an Oregon Ducks team that can't hit very well. It's quite the contrary.
That it is. He's retired 5 of the first 6 batters he's faced. Here comes the catcher, Bennett Thompson. His uncle Jason Thompson, 11-year major leaguer. From 76 to 86, played for the Tigers, the California Angels, the Expos, and the Pirates. Cape Cod League participant last year. Widely thought of as the best summer collegiate league. Always want to end up in Cape Cod if you can.
Not a bad place to end up no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the New England area. 2-0 to Bennett Thompson. This one lined into center, and that'll drop for a base hit. And rounding second, heading to third is Hurd. He kind of stopped at second, Walsh rather. And Walsh does slide into third. So runners on the corners with 2 out, and something here potentially for Anson Arrows.
Yeah, Walsh, it looked like he, instead of just watching his third base coach, he rounded second. He looked like he was going to keep going. Then he put the brakes on, looked backwards to see where the throw was, and decided to take off again.
Usually that's not a good sign when it works out well for the Ducks. So Arrows is 2 for 3, a double, a single, and a flyout in the second, third, and fifth, respectively.
And this is kind of what we're talking about here. Of course, this is the 6th hitter for the Ducks. The 6th hitter batting .324. We're in the heart of the order, but it doesn't get much easier. Next we get into .315 average and then a .424 average in the 8 spot.
Yeah, this hitters 6 through 8 tonight are 5 for 9 against Stanford pitching. Here's the 1-0. Swung on and missed. 92-mile-an-hour fastball there from Torrin.
That's a beautiful pitch there from O'Haron. And seems like he's not afraid to just go at these Oregon Duck batters.
The 1-1 missing outside. That's 78 miles per hour, the off-speed pitch.
It was a good take there from Arrows, but I do have to say I think that was a little bit telegraphed from O'Haron.
This one fouled off, 2-2 the count. As O'Haron tries to take us into the 7th inning stretch on this next pitch. Playing completely under the lights now at Sunken Diamond. The sun is sunk behind us.
That's why they call it Sunken Diamond.
I suppose so. 2-2. Oh, off speed, got him. Froze Arrows, and we head to the bottom of the 7th. The 4th strikeout in 2 innings for Torrin O'Haron. It's 9-5 Stanford as we head to the 7th inning stretch. Bottom of the 7th, 9-5 Stanford. Court McDonald will lead us off. 3-4-5 due up for the Cardinal. Leading by 4 after trailing by 4. The Cardinal try to get back on the right side of 500 in conference play. They could do that with a series sweep of Oregon. They're 7-8 at the midpoint of the conference season. There's the 0-1 pitch, and this one is chopped foul by McDonald, who walked in his last at-bat. He's 1 for 1 with 2 walks and a single. That's the Cardinal at the midpoint. Other Pac-12 series upcoming. They host Cal next weekend. You can watch all those on Pac-12 networks. This one is fouled off. Count stays 0-2. Then they're at Arizona first weekend of May. Back home for their last home series of the year against Arizona State, May 10th to 12th. They finish the year at UCLA before the Pac-12 tournament starting May 21st. Strike 3 as McDonald is down looking. First time he's been retired.
Yeah, big day there for Court McDonald, and he'll be disappointed with himself for that at bat, but nonetheless, a walk and 2 big singles to contribute to 9 runs that Stanford have posted, and Malcolm Moore also with a big day right now coming up to the plate. Yet to be retired.
Ball 1 to Moore. 3 RBI through his 2 home runs. Every time he has come to the plate, he has scored. Walked and scored in the 4th, homered in the 2nd and the 5th. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Malcolm Moore. Breaking ball over the outer half of the plate for a strike.
Still thinking about that 2-run shot in the 5th inning. He just got all of it and more, pun intended.
I see what you did there. Demolished. Was swinging for the fences there. 81-mile-an-hour changeup. 1-2.
Well, it's been I don't think we can call it a tough start to the conference play for Stanford, but certainly not what they expected.
Yeah.
But it all changes, I feel like, when you get to that halfway point, there's still plenty of baseball left to be played.
Plenty left.
And especially with how they're starting, at least so far, this game off in this 3-game series versus the Ducks, who sit in 2nd right now in the conference. Plenty left to be done for the Cardinal. It's certainly not over.
Yeah, that's for sure. 1-2 taken. Stanford was picked to finish 2nd in the Pac-12 this year. Oregon was picked to finish 4th. Stanford in 6th right now. Oregon in 2nd, a half game behind Oregon State entering play today. Here's the 2-2, and this one is ripped foul into the netting down the first base line. I'll update you on some scores from around the Pac-12 as the broadcast goes on. Here's the 2-2, and that misses outside. Count, run full.
Moore just seeing the ball so well. You can't tell by the hits. You can tell by just the at-bats. Every single at-bat, if he's not hitting out of the park, he's getting deep.
This one hit deep to right center. Back on his horse is Betcher, and he makes the catch, saving the home run. No, it's gone. Oh, he acted like he caught it. He did not, and it's the 3rd home run of the game for Malcolm Moore.
A 3-home run game for Malcolm Moore, and I was saying he gets deep into the count, but he just goes deep instead.
Wow. 10-5, Stanford leads.
Four of those 10 belong to Malcolm Moore. 2 solo shots plus a 2-run home run for him. What a day back in this lineup.
3 for 3 with a walk. 4 runs scored. 4 RBI. And he has raised his batting average 20 points today from 224 to 244 as Larson's at the plate 0 for 3.
Oh, we knew that batting average was not indicative
Yeah.
of what he could do, and we knew that he had some power on him. But 3 home runs in one game, that's something.
Breaking ball swung on and missed. 0-2. We have a final from Salt Lake City. Utah defeating Washington 8-6. So Utah 10-6 in conference play. The Dogs dropped to 5-11. That's in the dirt. Arizona leading Washington State 5-3 in the bottom of the 8th. Arizona just a half game back of Oregon State, rather. They're in a tie for second with the Ducks. And Arizona State leading UCLA 4-2 in the bottom of the 7th. So, swung on and missed by Larson. He's down on strikes for the 3rd time today. And there's 2 down here in the 7th. I'm going to bring up Charlie Somm. There's 1 for 3. One other Pac-12 series going on. Cal leads Oregon State 8-6 in the top of the 8th. So if Oregon State loses that, chance for Arizona or Oregon to move into first. So it's looking dire here for Oregon right now, trailing by 5 in the bottom of the 7th. Sacramento State leading USC 4-2 in the bottom of the 7th. It's an 11-team Pac-12 in baseball. Colorado does not have a team. Fouled back. Be a fun place to watch a game. Be a launching pad in Boulder.
Oh, yeah. Anybody who's ever been to Coors Field, see the Rockies play, you never get a score line that's below 5 runs per team.
Oh, yeah. Here's the 1-1. Gets the inside corner. I imagine as a former Pioneer, you might have taken in a few Rockies games.
Took in quite a few Rockies games. Got to watch the Giants play there quite a bit.
Okay.
Head to Coors Field, root for the hometown team. My hometown team, that is.
Yeah.
That's when I realized it can be fun to be the enemy in the
Chop back up the middle. Nice play made by Featherston, who tosses it to first, and that'll do it, but not before a solo shot from Malcolm Moore. A 3-homer day for Moore, and Stanford leads 10-5. Drew Smith lead things off for the Ducks. 7-8-9 here for the University of Oregon. Kevin Anna, Sarah Ash with you here on the farm on the Stanford live stream. Torrin O'Haron out for a 3rd inning of work. It's been good through 2.
Yeah, a bit of a scary moment there for O'Haron in the 7th, but able to pull it back in. O'Haron so far 2 full innings pitched, 2 hits given up, both of those back in the 7th inning. 2 singles. He's got 4 strikeouts across 8 batters faced.
Yeah,
struck out half the batters he's faced so far.
That's impressive stuff. He now has 34 strikeouts and 25 innings pitched, and it's 1-1 as he gets a swing and a miss on Smith there. Smith, Maloney, Garate here for the Ducks. 10 runs, 8 hits, 1 error for the Cardinal. This one is fouled off down the right field line near the Stanford bullpen. 5 runs, 9 hits, no errors for Oregon.
Mentioned Cardinal Palooza tomorrow. For those of you who don't know what that is, back after this pitch.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. There's the 5th K of the evening for Torrin O'Haron. And let's get for our Cardinal Palooza update, we sent it to our correspondent, Sarah Ash.
All right. So there's a lot happening here. There's a reason it's called Cardinal Palooza. Beach volleyball, that starts at 9 a.m. Stanford plays at 1 and at 5. That's free admission. You've got the fan zone. That opens at 10:30. I'd imagine there's going to be some fun tailgating there. That's free admission, of course.
Ball 1.
There's also a football spring showcase at 1, also free admission. Track and field invitational, that begins at 1:30. That's at Cobb Track and Field, or Cobb Track and Angel Field. Tickets required for that one, as well as baseball. We're back here tomorrow. First pitch 2 p.m. here at Sunken Diamond. Tickets required for that, and a big one. Stanford softball hosting the Cal Bears at 2 p.m.
Battle of the Bay.
That's going to be a fun one. Both of those teams having great seasons. It's going to be a battle for the Pac-12 conference. Tickets required for that one over there at Boyd and Jill Family Stadium.
2-1 the count here to Maddox Maloney. It's fouled off. Might not be Lollapalooza, but Cardinal Palooza will still have a lot of action.
Yeah, hard to tell which one's better.
Yeah. You ever been to Lollapalooza?
I have not.
Me neither.
I was gonna say I imagine with your Chicago days.
Yeah,
no.
I might have been there with I might have been on break when it was there, but I can't because it's sometime in August. This one is chopped down the third base line, foul. Springer tosses it back over to O'Haron.
A good idea over there from Springer to just let that roll foul. It looked like for a moment he was going to charge at that and try to make that play.
Tough play to make. 2-2's the count to Maddox Maloney, who's 2 for 3 today. Homered in the second. His 2-run blast to make it 2-0 Ducks. RBI single in the third. And then struck out swinging in the sixth to Monsieur O'Haron. The 2-2 fouled off right at the plate. Might have gotten a piece of his foot. Maddox Maloney. Number 3 player in the state of Oregon by Prep Baseball Report. Coming out of high school, won a state title with Thurston High as a senior. Fouled off. Hit sharply back to the Duck dugout. They play at PK Park, really nice facility right across from Autzen. Seats about 4,000. As they say, it never rains at Autzen Stadium, the only place in Oregon where it doesn't rain. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and that's low and away. Oregon will be off to the Big Ten, Stanford to the ACC next year. Wonder if these teams will have non-conference series against each other in the future.
Certainly would be nice. Mitigate a little bit of travel.
Yep. There's the payoff pitch, and this one is drilled deep to left, and this one is out of here in a hurry for Maddox Maloney, his second jack of the game, and it brings the Ducks to within 10-6. He's 3 for 4 tonight now.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, to have a multi-home run game at all is something, and now we've got 2 players, one from each team with multi-home run games. Maddox Maloney, a 2-run shot in the first, and now this one. We were saying that a 5-run lead is actually not that much when you think about the Oregon Ducks, and proving us right there in Maddox Maloney.
So nobody on, 1 out here for Carter Garate, who has not homered this season. At the 6th home run of the game.
Garate, the sophomore. Murrieta, California. Playing a bigger role here.
They have a pinch hitter for Oregon. So Justin Casella, senior from Bernardsville, New Jersey, a transfer from Elon. Played 3 years in the Colonial Athletic Association. I guess it's the Coastal Athletic Association now. They changed the name this year. Still the CAA.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with the talent agency, I believe Creative Artists Agency.
That's right.
Here's the 0-1.
Transfer himself, Justin Casella, transfer from Elon University.
CAA All-Rookie in 2021. First team All-CAA last year when he hit .343 for the Phoenix. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and that's a chopper to short. Handled nicely by Haskins, and he makes the throw in time to record the second out of the 8th inning.
This is just, I know we've said it before, but it's worth saying again, a big performance out of the bullpen here for Torrin O'Haron, not just performance-wise, but let's also just talk about how many innings he's been eating up. This is a long stretch for somebody out of the bullpen.
So Dominic Hellman into pinch hit for Betcher. Betcher went 0 for 4 today. Hellman, a sophomore from Mill Creek, Washington, hitting .238 this year. Slugging .429. Swing and a miss. Fastball blown by him at 92. Hellman, the sophomore, hit .250 last year, making his 17th appearance in 2024. 1-1 as he looks at a pitch low and away.
No surprise that we're seeing some pinch hitters here. Top of the lineup, obviously, we mentioned at the top of the lineup. So there's been just like just less production for the Ducks from the top of the lineup. So why not try something new? But that off-speed pitch really twisted up Hellman.
Yeah, certainly did. Count is 1-2 now to Hellman. O'Haron looking for his 6th strikeout of the game, and he gets it. Another K for TOH as Stanford takes a 10-6 lead into the bottom of the 8th. 6 strikeouts in 3 innings for O'Haron as we step aside before we head to the bottom of the 8th at Sunken. Some changes to note for Oregon. Now playing third is Cooney, number 12, Ryan Cooney. In center is Justin Casella. And on the mound, Turner Spoljaric. Spoljaric making his 8th appearance of the year. He's 0-2 with a 10.80 ERA. He's a sophomore from Ontario, Canada, who is homeschooled. 11 2/3 innings pitched. 19 hits, 14 runs, all of them earned. 8 walks against 6 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .388 against the righty as Gabe Springer comes to the plate. He's 0 for 2 today. It's Springer, Haskins, Reynolds due up the bottom of the order here for the Cardinal. An inning which they hope is the last half in which they hit. Leading 10-6 as fastball clocks in at 91 miles an hour for Spoljaric. Ducks have taken 2 of 3 from each of the first 5 series in conference play this year. 26-10 overall in the season. 7-2 in true road games this year. Really nice number. That pitch gets the inner half for strike 1.
It's an interesting statistic, obviously. 2 out of 3 in all of the series and conference play is very impressive, but it's an interesting statistic when you think about possibly an inability to sweep coming here from the Oregon Ducks. Obviously, sweeping a series is difficult in and of itself. But when it happens that many times in a row, it just kind of pops out as a stat that you might have to examine and possibly why.
2-1 count to Springer. And misses. 3-1 to number 33. Springer trying to reach base for the first time this evening. And that misses in. He'll take a trot over to first.
A good at bat there from Springer. Thrown into the game probably a little bit cold. Back, I believe that was back in the 3rd inning, actually, when Springer entered. And when you're thrown in cold, sometimes it just takes a little while to get your feet under you, to get mentally back in the game. And a good at-bat there, deserving to get on base is Springer.
Trevor Haskins to the plate. You can tell he's from the Bay Area from his walk-up song, Slow Down by Clyde Carson. This one swung on and missed. What would be your walk-up song?
Oh, I don't know. That's such a big question. That's something that you have to sit down, you have to think about. You got to look through your library, you know?
Okay.
It would be something from the Bay Area.
All right.
I like this. I like you just got to lean into your hometown.
Yeah. Here's the 0-1. This is low and away. For the record, my walk-up song would be by one of the same artists, Clyde Carson. And the team be It's Getting Hot. That's what it's called.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
It's the 1-1 pitch.
Maybe a little Mac Dre or E40 for
okay,
me,
all right,
there
you go. There you go. You don't need to tell Sarah Ash when to go. the 2-1 pitch with Springer on first, nobody out. That misses outside, and the way that Spoljaric's still trying to warm up, as Sarah was talking about, you're probably sitting on your pitch here. Otherwise, you are keeping that bat on your shoulder.
I would agree with that, especially, I mean, obviously it's not a 3-0, it's a 3-1, but like you said, with the pitches that we've seen.
One fouled off.
Haskins disagrees.
Yeah.
Thought he saw his pitch.
Haskins 0 for 2 with a walk. Struck out looking last time. Cardinal.
That pitch had some nice spin on it.
Yeah.
I can see why Haskins thought that was his pitch, and it dipped right before it got to the plate.
There's the Trey Deuce. Fouled back.
Anytime you see a batter foul something exactly like that, you know their timing's perfect.
Yeah.
Just got a little under it. If he was maybe, if that bat was maybe 2 inches higher, well, I was headed for the 400 mark in center field.
Won't do it again. And it's fouled off again. Yeah, put a good charge into that one. Bottom 8 here. Score update for you from Tucson. Washington State leads Arizona 7-5 in the top of the ninth. So the teams at the top of the conference table all trailing right now. Here's the 3-2 again, and it's ball 4 as Haskins will walk over to first, and now 2 on, nobody out, and a chance for Stanford to really gap Oregon here, try to put this one to bed in the bottom of the 8th.
2 batters faced for Spoljaric and 2 walks delivered. And seen some action start already in the Ducks bullpen.
Yeah, there's a righty throw in the Duck pen.
Looks like we might either have some changes or just a small conference here.
Having a little chat with Brady Reynolds, who's due up right here for the Cardinal. Reynolds, the lefty, 0 for 1 today, has been hit by a pitch and walked. And Reynolds will stay in to bat. Cobb on deck, hot in the hole.
It did certainly look like a conversation, like there might have been a pinch hitter coming in, but no action in the dugout, like nobody grabbing a bat or a helmet. So this makes sense.
There we go. Throw. Ooh. Almost got away from Spoljaric there.
Yeah, curious why he even threw that.
You got Springer on second, Haskins on first. He has walked the first 2 hitters he has faced. Now as that one's way outside. He's got 10 walks in 11 2/3 innings. Not the ratio you're looking for, and just 6 strikeouts.
I like that idea from Reynolds. He slyly showed bunt for a moment there, and I like that idea. Move the runners over. You got 0 outs, plenty of room to work with here.
Keeps the bat on his shoulder this time. Spoljaric misses in on a 90-mile-an-hour offering.
It's a classic situation in baseball, too. Lay down a bunt. Number 9 hitter with the top of the order coming up.
Yeah. Cobb, hot, McDonald all with hits. Here's the 2-0, and this one is skied foul. That'll reach the seats about 1 row up. Bounces back a few rows. You ever caught a foul ball at a baseball game?
I have not. Somebody 2 rows behind me caught it, though.
Oh.
Still think about it.
I've gotten a couple.
Did it feel as good as?
No, I didn't catch it on the fly. It was like one that rolled to me.
Oh, okay. Less exciting.
Yeah, much less exciting.
It's not what you dream of.
No. You got to check back again on Springer at second.
I will say I was close to splash hit once.
Oh, really?
I was.
Wait, you were in the water?
The one time in my life I've ever been in the water.
Oh, wow.
I wasn't able to get to it.
Who hit the homer?
I don't know. We didn't have a radio out there. We were just hanging in the water.
Strike 2 taken. How was that experience?
Oh, it's a blast.
Yeah.
You got to pick the right day, though. If you pick the right sunny day,
yeah,
it's a good vibe out there in the water.
Okay. 2-2 the count here to Reynolds. Looking to reach base for the third time today. Was 2-0. Spoljaric comes home. Curveball hit foul. Off the side netting. Do it again at 2-2. Cardinal looking to get to 500 in conference play, inch closer to 500 overall. They're 15-19 entering the weekend. That's low. Count is full.
10 runs for the Cardinal today, 12 midweek. You wouldn't really expect it. If you've been watching this team throughout the year, I feel like what they've really been struggling with is just getting the bats going there. Plus 88 in strikeouts, punching out 336 batters, striking out 448 times themselves. Some good pitching performances, but the bats just haven't been there.
Thompson frustrated with himself there, nearly had the foul tip strikeout, and it just popped out of his glove. So we will repeat the 3-2 sitch. And Cardinal, to your point, 8th in batting average, 7th in slugging, 7th in on-base percentage, bottom half in a lot of offensive rankings, 9th in runs scored. And there's ball 4. Bases loaded, nobody out. That is 3 walks and 3 batters faced for Turner Spoljaric.
I'll do you one better. It's a third walk for Brady Reynolds.
Yeah. Well, that. He has reached base 3rd time. 3 times as Owen Cobb steps in and a chance to really put this one close to being out of reach.
Owen Cobb with the RBI ground rule double brought in 3 runs, cleared the bases, or I believe it actually was just a double. It wasn't
it wasn't the ground rule one, but
it cleared the bases.
And it's the go-ahead hit to this point. It made it 7-5 Stanford. There's part of that 6-run 4th inning. So he fouls that one off.
He's 1 for 1 with bases loaded already in this game.
Looking over at the Oregon pen, this one, he turned on it, strike 2. Like that one back. The guy walking around in the pen, nobody actively warming up. Now heading to the bump, it looks like. Spoljaric, no immediate help as this one is going to be lifted into shallow left for a base hit, and coming in and scoring is Springer. Haskins will stay at third, but the throw goes over the head of the third baseman, Cooney. It is backed up by Thompson. It's an RBI single for Owen Cobb. He has a 2-hit day, and Stanford leads 11-6.
Well, that's just classic small ball baseball there. He dumped that just over the infield. Haskins, it really did look like he was going to come home, but the right decision there to hold him up, even despite that wild throw. Owen Cobb coming up big in these bases loaded situations.
Yeah. So that's a 4 RBI day for Owen Cobb. Ethan Hott, who's doubled and scored in this one, to the plate now. He fouls this one back.
Hott's the one that had that ground roll double.
In the 4th inning. Grounded out to short in the 6th. As he puts a charge into this one, another single to left. Coming in and scoring is Haskin. Rounding third is Reynolds. He'll come in to score. And it'll be a 2-run single. Taking second on the throw is Hott. He's 2 for 5, and Stanford's up 13-6, a touchdown lead over the Ducks in this football score.
Talk about insurance. When Stanford get going in an inning right now, there's really just no stopping them.
And it looks like Spoljaric's day is done as the Ducks will make a pitching change here in the bottom of the 8th. This one has gotten away from Oregon as Stanford put up 6 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, 1 in the 7th, 3 in the 3rd, 3 in the 8th already with still nobody out and 2 runners on. We will step aside, let you know about the new pitcher on the other side of this break. (13-6) and potentially counting for the Cardinal. New pitcher is Matthew Grabman, the righty, making the appearance on the bump so far for Grabman this year. This is his 6th appearance. He's 1-0 with a 2.08 ERA over 4 1/3. He's given up 2 hits, 1 run. It has earned 5 walks, 4 strikeouts. Opponents hitting on the season against him 143, 182 with runners on. On third is Cobbs. Hott is on second. McDonald at the plate. McDonald swung on and missed. He's 1 for 2. He's reached base 3 times, a couple of walks.
And can't close the book yet.
Yeah. Spoljaric responsible for the runners on second and third as Stanford's already brought home 3 here in the bottom of the 8th. 1-1 that pitch way outside. Thompson does a good job to stay in front of it. Grabman, sophomore from Nova Scotia, but finished up his high school career in Florida. Probably a little easier to get in games in Florida than Nova Scotia. This one lifted into left, and that'll bring home 2. Another 2-run single for Stanford. This one provided by McDonald as Cobb and Hott come home. It's 15-6 Stanford, and this one has officially been blown open.
On the top of the order is delivering. A walk from Springer to start this off. Haskins walks. 9th hole, Brady Reynolds walks, and then an RBI single for Cobb at the top of the order, an RBI double for Hott, and then an RBI single there from McDonald's.
Well,
back to back.
Hitters 1 through 4 today are 9 for 16, including Malcolm Moore, who has a 3-homer game going. Andrew Dashbach hit 4 home runs at a game 5 years ago here. On a Tuesday game. There's the 0-1 to Malcolm Moore. That one high and outside. I remember I was supposed to do that game, but then I had another work assignment and had to get out. A 4-homer game and a 7-1 win over Cal Poly on May 14th, 2019.
My goodness.
It was a program record 4-homer game. It's happened a couple of times in Major League Baseball history as Malcolm Moore takes ball 2.
And this is no surprise. I'm going to be genuinely surprised if he gets anything hit-worthy right now.
Yeah. Exactly. You imagine that this is Grabman's game to finish. You can now close the book on Spoljaric. It is not a pretty book.
Take a look at that in a second.
Ball 3.
Book is closed officially, as you said, on Spoljaric. Total batters faced, 5. 5 runs allowed, 3 walks, no strikeouts for him. 26 pitches thrown. Tough outing for him.
Yeah, 3-1. Missing in. So much for the 4-homer game for Malcolm Moore, unless the Cardinal bats around and then some. Here in the 8th, or they completely give the game away in the 9th. Most likely, if Moore's at the plate again, there is a problem.
Absolutely. For one of the teams.
Yeah.
Could go either way.
So here's Larson stepping in. Brandon Larson. Jennifer was a gymnast at Maryland. NCAA Women's Gymnastics Championships conclude tomorrow as this one's skied into foul territory down third baseline. Oh, and it's dropped by Cooney. that kind of inning for Oregon.
That one's going to hurt because still look at the scoreboard and there's that big goose egg next to the outs. Still 0 outs. That could have been a freebie right there.
Yeah.
You look at the line here, 15-6 in terms of runs, but then you look at the hits. 11 hits for Stanford, 10 for Oregon.
And Stanford's taking advantage of its opportunities more than the Ducks have. 9-run lead. Larson looking for his first hit of the game at 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. A chance to get right against Oregon pitching here in Grabman.
You mentioned Stanford just doing more at the right time. They're 6 for 10 with runners in scoring position on the day.
There's the 1-0. To Larson, wants to get in on the fun, and he will with a hit deep to right. This one's out of here. It clears the trees over the right field wall. A 3-run blast for Brandon Larson. It's his second home run in a Cardinal uniform. 18-6 Stanford. It's an 8-run eighth for the Cardinal.
What is happening here at Sunken Diamond? I'm not entirely sure. Something has come over the Stanford Cardinal tonight.
And what should have been an out, the drop foul ball.
Might I add, we are one batter away from going back through this lineup again for a second time in the inning.
That had to feel good for Brandon. He's sitting on a 3-strikeout day. He's 1 for 5 now. Som is 1 for 4. Swing and a miss. He had a 2-run double in the 4th. I believe that was the ground rule double.
That was the ground. We're just looking for the ground rule double
here. And I think we found it. That made it 5-3. Take strike 2. And what looked like could have turned into an Oregon laugher has turned into a Stanford laugher.
It has completely shifted.
This one is chopped to third, played on a couple of hops by Cooney, the throw in time, and mercifully there's 1 out here in the 8th.
Now for that to be the first out of the inning, and now, just right now, we're back through the order for the second time.
Well, it took 9 hitters to record a 1 out. Not a winning formula. And again, you're grabbing, you're just trying to get the team through the game at this point. You don't want to burn another pitcher down 12. You're on your own, sir. This one is popped up, shallow left. Coming in is Meggers, and he just calls off Maloney to make the catch. So 2 away here in the 8th for the Cardinal. 18-12-1 for Stanford, 6-10-1 for Oregon. Comes Trevor Haskins. He's got a different walk-up song this time.
So what happens, those of us who can't choose, you know?
Yeah.
We just get to pick multiple.
But he had slowed down the first few times. This one's lined into center, and it'll be played on a hop by Casella. So that's the first hit of the day for Haskins, who's reached base for the 3rd time after a couple of walks in the 4th and the 8th.
Looking through this lineup, and I actually don't think Actually, it looks like just Gabe Springer.
The only one to not reach?
The only one to not hit and reach. He's reached on a walk.
Yeah.
Across the board, everybody's reached.
Reynolds has reached 3 times, was hit by a pitch, and has walked twice. 1-0 from Grabman to number 27, Brady Reynolds. Has some USA national experience with the 15U team. Training camp in 19, hit down the right field line. Fair! It drops. That'll be his first hit. And coming around third is Haskins. There will be a throw home, but it will be not in time. It's an RBI double for Brady Reynolds. 19-6 make it, thanks to this 9-run 8th for Stanford.
Well, that one barely stayed fair, but it certainly did. And that's the kind of thing you can do when you're up by that many runs, waving Haskins home. And Haskins gutsy to not even slide there, but the right call. Stanford Just when it looked like they needed a little bit of insurance, they give themselves a lot.
Yeah, shades of Jeremy Giambi, that was not. He got in safely. And Owen Cobb, 2 for 5. He had an RBI single earlier this inning, looking for the 2-hit inning here. Cobb hitting .279 on the season with an OPS of .827. Here's the 1-0. This one is hit foul. Can the Cardinal get to 20 runs in this game? They've had a 6-run fourth and a 9-run eighth, in which they're still working on.
Mentioned Cobb batting .279 on the year. Within Pac-12 play, he's actually averaging .317.
That's
hitting
nice.
well in Pac-12.
High and outside. Fans jazzed up for fireworks after the game. Missing high. 3-1. $19 runs on 14 hits for the Cardinal. This one is lifted to left center, but playable for Casella. And finally, from an Oregon perspective, this inning is over, but not before a 9-run, 6-hit inning for the Cardinal. They lead 19-6, 3 outs away from taking the series opener against the Ducks. Well, the Ducks have 3 outs to score 13 runs to prolong this game. It's Meggers, Walsh, and Hurd, 2-3-4 for Oregon. Ben Reimers, the pitcher now for Stanford. O'Haron doing a nice job. Reimers making his 14th appearance, 3-1 with an 8.75 ERA for the Aliso Viejo Frosh. 20 strikeouts in 23 2/3 innings. Cardinal in line for the series opening triumph over the Ducks. We'll do it again at 2:05 tomorrow. Strike one taken. Meggers 0 for 4. Tomorrow, in addition to being Cardinal Palooza, it's a bring your dog to the game.
Oh, that's better than Cardinal Palooza,
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
This one's going to get into right for a leadoff single for Meggers, who's 1 for 5, who's hitting .333 before that at-bat.
While we're here, let's close the books on O'Haron.
Yeah.
A full 3 innings pitched in just 3 hits given up across those 3 innings, 1 run, 6 strikeouts across 12 batters faced. He retired from striking out alone half of the batters that he faced.
It's pretty good.
48 pitches total. That's a really good outing out of the bullpen. That's exactly what the Cardinal needed.
Definitely. Well done by Torrin O'Haron. As we have a pinch hitter. That'll be Brooks, number 6. Jack Brooks, redshirt freshman from Vacaville. Might have some family at the game. Vacaville, a couple hours away from here. Went to Vanden High. And they were playing the Who Let the Dogs Out from the Baja Men when they were announcing that this was Bring Your Dog to the Game tomorrow. And as the 1-0 is a fastball dead center, make it 1-1.
Classic song.
Some would say classic. I was going to say most annoying one-hit wonder song. I assume you don't say that.
I think I can do you one better.
Okay.
What's that? It's I'm Blue.
Oh, yeah, I'm blue. Yeah, all right.
Everybody just muted us because now it's stuck in their head.
There you go.
Well, Stanford 19-6. We were talking before, of course, this 9th inning got going. Record high on the season in terms of runs scored. Before this, 13 runs versus Utah.
Runner going, and that'll be well behind. And stolen base for Meggers.
Scary moment there. Almost looks like it's going to hit him in the head.
First stolen base of the season for Meggers. A Rockland native. Big California influence on this Oregon Duck team. To be expected. Here's the 3-1 pitch, and this one is launched foul down the left field line. So count is full with runner on second, nobody out.
Cardinals scoring 12 runs midweek, almost tying that season high run scored, and today just absolutely destroying it. 19 runs season high for the Stanford Cardinal.
This one popped up, foul territory. Springer underneath it makes the catch. One away here in the ninth. Springer recording the out. And we'll have another pinch hitter. It's Mason Neville, a sophomore from Sin City, a transfer from Arkansas. Las Vegas kid, drafted in the 18th round by the Cincinnati Reds in 2022. First pitch. Fastball in for strike one. Final from Tucson. Arizona comes back to score 3 in the ninth to defeat Washington State 8-7. Final from SoCal. Sacramento State records a 6-3 win at USC. There's the 1, that misses in. Final from LA, another one, Arizona State 5, UCLA 3. And from Evans Diamond in Berkeley, Cal gets a 10-8 win over Oregon State, so the first place Beavs drop. Arizona momentarily in first by itself at 11-5 as Oregon State drops to 10-5, and Oregon staring 10-6 in the face as this one is launched to dead center, going back to the track, and that will be played off the wall. That'll bring home a runner to make it 19-7. That is a stand-up double for Neville. An RBI double for Neville as Meggers comes home to score. And it's 19-7 now, Stanford, with one out here in the ninth.
One out rally here coming on for the Ducks and plenty to go, but you got to be careful here if you're the Cardinal. Can't really relax yet.
The rally caps on. I remember the Seattle Mariners overcame like a 12-run deficit against, they were the Indians at the time, Cleveland Guardians now. I think it was like 14-2 going to the ninth, and then it's like a Sunday night baseball game a few years ago. I probably have some of the particulars wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was Seattle-Cleveland. It was a monster ninth-inning comeback.
That's one of those games where if you're not Seattle, you're going to be happy you turned that TV off.
Yeah.
That's not something that you want to see.
Yeah. Here's the 0-1. Makes it 0-2 over the outer black to Bennett Thompson, who's 1 for 4, singled his last time up, hitting .266.
What a swing we've had in
Yeah.
this game. Starting off, Ducks looked like.
Oh, he went. Steve Reich, 3. The first strikeout recorded by Reimers today, 21st of the season. And now 1 out away from putting this one to bed.
Ducks really looked like their bats were just coming out firing, and they were going to take over here with Cardinal with that big inning getting into it. And Ducks just really never recovered from that.
Yeah. Anson Arrows to the plate. Kevin Anna, Sarah Ash hanging with you on a Friday night. The Cardinal looking to put the finishing touches on this one. Arrows takes strike 1. He is 2 for 4. And retired his last 2 times. 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored. Double in the second. Single in the third. Came home both times. Just flied out to center and struck out looking. The 0-1. And this one chopped foul. The Ducks down to their final strike.
Packed stadium here. Assuming it's going to be even more packed tomorrow for Palooza, Cardinal Palooza. Reminder, 2 p.m., first pitch here at Sunken Diamond. Kevin's going to hold down the fort for you tomorrow.
I'll be rocking it solo. Solo dolo. Here's the 0-2, missing outside. A happy Passover to those who celebrate.
believe that's Monday.
Monday.
Some like to celebrate on the weekend.
Some celebrate
some
on the weekend.
Day.
This one lifted foul into the Stanford bullpen. Taking third on indifference was Neville. A 1-2 the count. Arrows hanging in there. Cardinals still a strike away from win number 16. Reimers looking to put this one to bed, and they tossed a first in time. Nicely done by a covering Reimers off the toss from Larson. And this game is over. Stanford wins 19-7. 19 runs, 14 hits, 1 error in a game that took 3 hours and 15 minutes. And Sarah, this is one that looked like it could be a blowout in favor of the Ducks.
Yeah.
But then things quickly changed in that 4th inning.
They really did. I mean, you called it. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of momentum, and we know that when the Stanford bats get going, they can really get going. We saw it midweek here at Sunken Diamond, but I don't think it was expected if you were watching those first 2 innings. So big credit to the Stanford Cardinal for hanging in, for Matt Scott, who started this game, and it was a tough outing, but he grinded it out, and he was able to pull through 5. Big credit to him to keep the Cardinal in it until those bats got going.
So the Cardinal now 16-19, and the Ducks dropped to 26-11. Big thank you to our production crew led by the one and only Ethan Cardoza. Also had Joseph Gabrekadon on the scene. For Sarah, I'm Kevin Dana saying sayonara from Sunken Diamond. Final score, final time. Stanford 19, Oregon 7. I'll talk to you tomorrow afternoon. Have a good evening, everyone.